Welcome back, everybody, to VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin'. We're here for day 3 in the beginning of the bracket stages. Jesse, a brand new day of some high school Call of Duty. I couldn't be more excited. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I mean, hey, yesterday got so crazy that, I ended up losing my voice by the end of the stream. It was getting out of control, Colin. We had a crazy comeback. Finally saw game 3 as well. And honestly, I think we're only going to build off of that going into today. We should have some bangers of some matches on stream.
No, I couldn't agree more, Jesse. But before we hop into today's action, let's take a little bit of a recap with what we did see yesterday. I know it was action-packed, like you said. You almost lost your voice, and a whole lot of high-rise and terminal, might I add.
Oh, a lot.
Looking over it, Jesse, I mean, let's talk a little bit about it. Why don't you break down what we saw?
Yeah, absolutely. So yesterday, you could see we started off, we had our game between Ardrikel and versus Garinger C. It was a really good game, kind of went back and forth. Probably one of our more closer games of the day, actually, in terms of just score line. It was a 2-0 going in the way of Garinger C, followed up by a good performance once again by Garinger C, unfortunately losing out to Green Level in our next matchup. Then we went to our third matchup. It was New Bern B versus Lee County B. That matchup was very one-sided in the side of Lee County B. They finished that one pretty quickly there on their own. And then probably the match that we've had so far on stream, not because I'd say that the respawns were necessarily close between Riverside and New Bern B, but we had New Bern B come out. They won 250 to 49 on the Hardpoint. But the high-rise search and destroy, Colin, might end up being the map of the tournament, honestly. It was so entertaining to watch. We had some clutch 1v1s, clutch 1v4s. I think there was 2 of them in the match, maybe 3 inside of the match. It was absolutely pandemonium inside of that high-rise search and destroy, which led to a high-rise control and led to New Bern B walking away with the 2-1 series win there.
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Riverside, Jesse, because unfortunately we won't see them inside of the bracket play, but Jinx stepped up yesterday inside of that search and destroy. Like you said, a couple of aces out of Jinx. It looked good. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure today is going to be quite the same. So let's take a look at the schedule for our matches today, Jesse, because hopping in with day 3, bringing alongside that, we get to start with the early days of the bracket, and as you can see, at 7:30 and 8:15, it is going to be, still to be determined, still up in the air on who we're going to see, because that's later on down the line for the second part of our bracket play. But we're going to be starting off with West Charlotte versus South Mech, and in our second match, it's Ragsdale versus Lee County High A. So we get to see the sister side of Lee County High B.
Yeah, and we saw, like you said, Lee County High B yesterday on stream. They looked very good. So it'd be very interesting to see kind of how their A team works. Obviously, not all schools will list an A team as like their number 1 team, their B team as their number 2 team, but some do. So we might even end up seeing a more improved Lee County team here today out of those 2 teams. So I think it'll be some really good matches here so far, and 4 teams that we haven't seen on stream yet as well, Colin. So a lot of new names that we can take a look at, maybe build some new storylines for ourselves going in towards the semifinals and the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, and, heading into the bracket, it means we only have a few more days left, Jesse, for this action. So at the end of it, it's only going to be 1 team remaining for the big chunk of change that they're playing for. So looking at that, a $12,000 prize pool overall here in the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. But the bracket starting off in round number 1. Any matches kind of point out to you right away, Jesse, that just kind of jump off the screen right into you?
Yeah, actually. So I think that Garinger B Sun Valley match should be an interesting one, because Garinger B, we saw them look really good against one team and look really, really poor against another team yesterday, right? So it'd be interesting to see kind of how that team stacks up now that we're into bracket play, because I don't think that we're really going to see too many poor teams but really make it into bracket play. So Garinger B really going to need to step up to the plate. And then kind of just looking at other teams that we have seen on stream, that Wake Leadership versus New Bern B match, I think will be a fun one. I know we don't have it on our stream. Maybe it might be on the second stream. I'm not too sure what their schedule is looking like, but that one should be a pretty fun one as well. New Bern, they got the fire, but they got to really, really kind of bring it, though, if they're going to go up against Wake Leadership here today.
They got the fire. They need the gasoline to make the fire a little bit bigger, because I'm sure Swag Checked is going to be a little bit of a tough player to match up against inside of round 1 of this tournament, Jesse. I know a lot of eyes are going to be on that Wake Leadership team, as, they said to us, Jesse, that this is their tournament to win, that this is where they want to come out and win that big prize at the end of it. But speaking of the prize, we can take a look at, the breakdown inside of top 3 at the end of this bracket, which we will see the conclusion tomorrow on Thursday, December the 14th. So our final prizing, $12,000 total, Jesse, and a whole lot broken down between the 3.
Yeah, and I know I keep saying it, and I know this is something me and you keep touching on over and over and over again. But man, 8K for first place in a high school Call of Duty tournament, Colin, that is a lot of money for
Oh,
these
yeah.
players to be walking away with for first place. A nice little $2,000 split between each of the players, and then obviously second place $3,000. Be still 750 split each way. I mean, you can't complain about that. And then third place, you walk away with a nice little $250. Thanks for playing. And I mean, honestly, if you can get there, you can win that $1,000 out. Anything can happen once you get towards the end of these tournaments. So it should be a good time. And yeah, lots of money still on the line here.
Yeah, lots of money on the line between a lot of teams still looking to be competitive, Jesse. And yesterday, I think we saw the most competitive day that we saw overall instead of day 2. You know, day 1, we got a whole lot of Wake leadership, and they kind of swept through their group towards the top. But in day 2, it was a whole lot of action, a whole lot of teams that you and I were looking into. You know, who will be those players that step up to maybe match Swag Checked and the abilities that he brings over at Wake leadership, because it's going to be tough. You know, whenever you meet up against a team where one player can just take over the lobby. So now we get to look at 2 brand new teams, West Charlotte and South Mech, heading to sub base for map number 1. And we got to keep our eyes off of the potential that these 2 holds.
Yeah, sub-base map 1, like you said, this is a really fun map. Very scrappy map as well, Colin. This map can really kind of come down to the clock sometimes because it gets so damn scrappy and it's so hard to get a good chunk of time inside of the hill. It's going to be Killa, the player on the side of West Charlotte, sitting inside of the hill, soaking up a little bit of time here off the bat. But as you can see, it's a 3-for-1 trade right away. Make that a 4-for-1 now as 3 a.m. sitting up top is continuing to rain down some damage.
Yeah, it might not be 3 a.m. right now, Jesse, but
it's 3 a.m. somewhere.
It's 3 a.m. somewhere inside of maybe sub base. So here we go. What a start out of West Charlotte. 24 points already off this first hill. And, you know, a map that can get a lot more scrappy, Jesse. So where we've been kind of breaking down, rotations have been so important throughout MW3.
Is a little bit more because the spawns are a little bit wonkier on this map, right? And
yeah,
you can definitely get away with not rotating early and being able to break inside of a lot of these hills. But man, this is a dominant start here for West Charlotte on a very neutral hill as well in the middle of the map. That this could get really scary here for South Mech quick. They need to answer back with a big hold, and you can see they are starting this rotation over, but already outnumbered because of the spawns coming in here for West Charlotte.
Well, Fash is going to find that first kill. Acer, a second kill. Looking to trade things out. Nice shots from up top. Only good for the 1, and that is a break for South Mech to hold on to this. So 46 seconds that they desperately need somebody to hop in this hill, but still struggling to find that person to jump on in. And West Charlotte, with those close spawns, Baby Hippo looking to get ready and right back into this one already with MCW in and around the flank, already finding that first kill into Arctic, denying this time from South Mech, limiting them to only 8 seconds so far, Jesse. I mean, South Mech, they just cannot get a handle on this game.
And I think this is more so of your normal sub-base, right, Colin, where you're seeing 2 teams now having a hard time really finding any success in terms of getting time on the point here inside of this one at the moment. And I mean, what, South Mech probably held onto that hill for the majority of the first 30 seconds, but only walk away with 10 seconds of total time because it is just that hard to be able to keep people inside of the hill on some of these hills on this map mode combination. Now we look across the map, very close to P2 is our P3 hill. It's right on top of the sub, and you need to push over here to get inside of it. Now this one, I will say, Colin, I think out of all the hills, this could be one of the more money hills if you can hold on to the backside of the map.
That's just a big question. Can you hold on to I guess, the right side of the map at that point?
Oh, and there we go.
Because already, I mean, teams so good at breaking this hill, Jesse. As soon as that wide open gunfight starts, those ARs, they take over, and it's 3 down for South Mech to hop into this hill right away. Acer collecting the time, 30 seconds. West Charlotte back off the spawns again. These wide open gunfights, the MCW's best gun for this scenario. Killa breaks right back in. Still one player to still take care of it. It looks like with a little bit of help, West Charlotte still continuing to be quite an issue against South Mech.
And the thing that we're actually seeing both teams do really well right now, at least on this hill, in terms of pushing into the hill and finding these breaks and flipping the spawns out, is that because they're getting the kills so cleanly and pushing forward, they're forcing the spawn out deep for both these teams. Now, that's not going to work out terribly here for the side of South Mech, who should be the first team now on rotation over towards our 4th hill. Into the tunnel we go. However, I mean, it's not going to be easy to hold with the way that West Charlotte's been pushing in and breaking these hills.
It's so important to hold with the trophies behind them. However, South Mech, they don't have any Arctic. Nice double kill to keep in control of this hill for now. Still only a 60-point game separating these two. And West Charlotte, they don't want to allow South Mac back into this one just yet, but Fashion now doing a great job at finding these kills. A trade for the nade, and in comes West Charlotte. Now Zanny watching the cross, gets in with the striker 9, but won't be able to find that kill. Still Fashion being so good at making this hill scrappy.
Yeah, both teams really keeping it scrappy, like you said. But, I mean, West Charlotte's done a great job of not allowing South Mech to get any time really on this hill, and they've held the hill almost the entire period of time. Yeah, you know what? Maybe they might have gotten 20 seconds out of that, Colin, but 20 seconds when they held onto the spawns and onto the right side of the map that you want to hold on to for that entire time, that's a win, honestly, in the book of West Charlotte. Even though you're not getting any time, you barely allow them to get any for themselves. Now we head to Tank, Colin. It's the 5th and final hill of the rotation, and this one, middle of the map, again, very similar to hill number 1. However, when you look at it, this is looking very similar to hill number 1 in terms of West Charlotte inside of the hill, and a lot of powerful positions for them being held down around it.
I couldn't agree more. 117 to 52. Acer just looking to get onto this hill. Knows somebody's to his right. Hops over the window, but the shot's just not there. Killa, a double kill. Make 3 in a row. Killa, this 3 versus 4 for West Charlotte. Still holding on to the lead, Jesse. And their lead just continuing to grow now with the last 20 seconds. They want to get in on it, but South Mech denying that time. This is time that they just cannot give away. So this 13 seconds, they're going to stack onto it and try to get every second.
Yeah, really trying to make sure that they can bring this one back. Like you said, 3v4, so it's going to be tough for West Charlotte to be able to hold on to the win here now. But, I mean, hey, they're doing it. I mean, double the lead pretty much to the side of South Mech right now. A 60-point lead at the very least. That's one whole hill that they can hold on to here. But South Mech now inside of the new hill, back to P1. But this is where we saw an absolute dominance by West Charlotte in the first set of rotations. It was 3AM who really did a great job up top the last time of holding down all the lanes and not allowing South Mech to get any time. But so far for South Mech here with a 3v4 advantage, now doing a much better job of holding this first hill.
Yeah. Zanny up top. Oh, shot's just not there. Arctic starting to heat up here. I mean, you look at a couple of players. Arctic having his moments, but Fashion 22 and 11, 4 in a row. 2 more would garner a cruise missile as things slow down for a second here on the base. Fashion again looking to take this height. Nice shots through the rails, and second one as well. That's the cruise missile now, Jesse, on board for South Mech on this comeback. Only 20 seconds away from evening this up.
Yeah, and this is West Charlotte will hop into the hill for the last little bit of time. So like you said, still about a 30-second lead here for West Charlotte, but they need to do everything in their power right now to hold on to this 3AM with a nice 2-piece from the top inside of the sub base. And this hill, I mean, we barely saw any time get one on it the last time through, but now with a big spawn out for South Mech, you have a good opportunity to get a big hold here for West Charlotte.
Yeah. Ready to battle this one out from up top. Some nice shots here, 3 in a row. Hits the deck. Trouble brewing now on the flank. Zanny, though, looking to flank the flanker. And Zanny's going to take care of Fashion. 2 kills down for South Mac. Now somebody needs to start to heat up here. And it looks like they want to start a pinch from the back. Number 4 into the full route. That's Acer looking to activate now. Acer's going to find that kill out from Baby Hippo. Caught with the Renetti. Back and forth trades. South Mac have found their way back into this one, but West Charlotte still holding a reasonable 50-point lead.
And let's not forget West Charlotte now with all 4 players back inside of the lobby. When they had all 4 players, they were in full control of this map, it felt like, for quite a while in that first rotation. The big comeback did happen during the 3v4, but now we're back to 4v4. We'll see if West Charlotte can now continue to try to bring this one back here for themselves. It will be South Mech, first team setup inside of sub base on the main sub. Now we'll see what they can do in terms of holding on to this hill. And it's not looking very good right now, Colin. They end up losing the first couple gunfights. They're going to start to spawn out here as well. Not even the cruise missile can save them here at this point, and they need to find a break.
Yeah, time to bunker down for West Charlotte, though, as they are going to try to hop into this hill. Rory's heart making it a little bit hard to do so and collect this time, is now in for the contention. 3AM shuts down that player. 18 seconds left. Fashion needs to fight it out to the very end, and Fashion knocks down, back in, slides across. Renetti unable to lock down this kill just yet, and West Charlotte still soaking up this hill.
And as we look across the map, oh my god, Fashion finally finds the kill on top of the sub. And we look across the map, though, that might not be the best timing to find that kill. As we look to tunnel, it's going to be West Charlotte, first team inside of the hill, set up, looking to get some time here. And they're doing a really good job of not only holding on to the time right now, but also zoning all of South Mech out through the front of tunnel.
South Mech, they need a break, Jesse. They need a break now with 40 seconds on the clock. West Charlotte, they can't win here, but they can get close, and South Mech, they don't want this to get out of hand, and it already has been a little bit one-sided. Killa, the nadeless right in front. That's 2 down. They hop right back in towards that hill. Nice shots there from Zadie. Rory's heart gets picked apart. Fashion, no eyes of the player in the back. I mean, this should be a safe 20 seconds for them to grab unless Fashion can make a heroic play. And all you need to do if you're Killa is stay alive. But an egregious challenge out allows Fashion back in to deny 10 seconds.
Yep, they take away those 10 seconds. You can see Fashion knows we need to get middle map control immediately here as we head back to tank for the second time. Almost a 100-point lead now for West Charlotte, but you do have Fashion in and around the hill doing a really good job of trying to zone out these West Charlotte players right now, not allowing them to get anything. He's doing it all right now. Look at that kills. 39 and 17, Colin. Absolutely tearing it up, but he needs to find some help here from the rest of the South Mech players.
Yeah, this is the sub-base Fashion show right now, Jesse, but South Mech need a little bit more if they want to win it out. Still 2 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time to play out, Jesse. I have a feeling this won't influenced by that time at all. It's going to be coming down to that 250 mark eventually, and West Charlotte hop back in. Fashion, we're going to take the player out the hill, and he will. 3 kills in succession from South Mech for the break back into the time. 20 seconds to play for, and Fashion wants a little bit more. However, 3 a.m., a little bit of other plans, and I need to start thinking about the rotation again, Jesse. And for South Mech, they need to put some focus on getting this top third set up.
Yeah, and even going and losing these last 10 seconds here to West Charlotte is not going to be a good thing, because now West Charlotte, these 2 hills are so close to each other. They'll hold on to these last 10 and still be able to rotate across the map to try to break their way in. And 2 of the first gunfights go the way of West Charlotte. They can hop into the hill now, at least get a contention, and they've got top third control. This is looking like a very possible win for West Charlotte here.
Yes, it could be 160 to 239. Only 10 seconds left. South Mech, who's going to be the difference? Acer slides on in with the MCW in hand, finds one around the corner. A second one. Acer keeps this one alive, Jesse, with 30 seconds. Is that a downtown killer? I mean, that was a little bit troublesome for South Mech, but 3 a.m. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be him. Over the top, Fashion shuts it down with the Renetti. Lovely shots coming out. Contention inside the hill, and here comes the cavalry. The help is out for South Mech, but who's going to walk out on top? Killa takes him down. Arctic falls. 2 kills out. 5 seconds needed, and nobody is here to stop this one. One last chance, but with 250 points, West Charlotte put away map 1.
250 to 175. West Charlotte will walk away with that map 1 victory, and that is extremely impressive. They ended up going down 3v4, had a disconnection in the middle of that map, Colin, and we're still able to come back to pull that off. They got the 4th back in there. They got the job done. 3 a.m. drops 38 kills in the game. Not nearly as many as Fashion on the other side at 47 and 7,153 damage, but still a very typical performance by 3 a.m. and Killa on the opposite side themselves.
I mean, 47 and 22 is incredible from Fashion, Jesse. I just feel like, you know, for a map like Subbase, you expect somebody to have a high kill game like that. And, you know, it's just not enough for this map, which is highly contested when it comes down to the points. Just so many times. The early breaks from West Charlotte, keeping South Mech out of the hill for as long as possible. I mean, they're so good at not only collecting that time, but denying time from South Mech.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and I think we could see that right from the very first hill of the game, right? I mean, that hill is normally very, very contest-heavy. Both sides trying to just, you know, dance for position through middle of the map, because you want to not only get your players inside of the hill, but there's already so many spots around the hill as well. The little doorways going down into the going down towards the bottom portion of the map that you can sit inside of, kind of gun the players out of it, and then also like we were kind of alluding to, top computers, top third, those 2 spots that you can sit and really just gun any of the players on either side inside of the hill. The fact that West Charlotte was able to not only get a good break off, but also get almost a full 60 on P1 really set the tone for the whole pace of the map.
And it allowed them to hold that lead even after they lost a player halfway through, Jesse.
Yeah.
So in a 3v4, all they needed to do was hold on as long as they can, and they did a really good job at doing so. So very strong map number 1 coming out from West Charlotte, even losing a player at one point. So heading into the search and destroy, I mean, I want to say they should be feeling comfortable, Jesse. I feel like that's one of the most competitive hard points that we've seen so far in the VESL Call of Duty Esports League, but heading into the search and destroy with a performance like what Fashion did there, the amount of slaying potential that comes out from South Mech now off the back of that, this search and destroy, I feel like it opens so much opportunity for a potential map 3.
It does for sure, because if Fashion can keep finding kills and slays like that, it's going to be very, very hard to be able to walk away with the win. Charlotte's first step is going to be finding Fashion, taking Fashion out of this, and just really making sure that it's just the rest of the players left alive. Make it so hard for them to have to be able to win these games, right? And if you do that, that's where you'll find success if you're Charlotte. Now, if you're South Mech here, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that we are keeping Fashion alive at all costs. Let him run around the map. Let him do his thing to find these kills. But it's not going to be an easy job by any means, and we never know. Hey, South Mech could really end up being a team that's really good at search and destroy as well. Maybe not the best hardpoint team. And I mean, I don't even think that they were poor in that hardpoint. They kept that very competitive on both sides. It's just unfortunate they came down to, at the end of the game, just maybe towards those more neutral hills, I think is where they really struggled in the middle of the map. That's where they lost most of the time, at least on P1 and P5 especially. That's where it looked like they weren't really gathering as much time as the side of the side of West Charlotte. So if they can hold on to that, that's where they can really look to come back here in the series.
It was really good out of them to keep it scrappy, but, you know, at the end of the day, scrappy's not going to really cut it. I mean, you're looking at South Mech to put together multi-kills inside of the hill to not only, you know, break it, but then push for positioning and to make sure that West Charlotte could never really set up for a break again. But we never really saw that from them. So if it does go down to the control, map number 3, I'm then looking towards, you know, South Mech to use their slaying capabilities and try to play a little bit more safer, a little bit more patient, less scrappy, and more methodical so that they can find that spacing, Jesse, because, you know, search and destroy is one thing. You know, you can definitely slow down the pacing, find a first blood, and work off that with numbers. But back into the respawns, if you just cannot win a respawn instead of best of 3s, you're going to be struggling.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, right?
There's only 2 respawns, and there's only one search.
You're absolutely right. And I think that's something that we really hit on yesterday. And we were talking, and I don't think that either of us really realized that we weren't going to see best of 5s until we got to the semifinals and the finals. And if you're just joining us, that's the case. It's best of 3s all the way until we get to the semifinals and then the finals tomorrow. And that kind of alludes poorly for some of those teams that might not be the greatest respawn teams and are very good at search and destroy, because what happens in that situation is you're losing one of the search and destroys in the series. Yes, you still end up playing more respawns than you do search and destroys, but with more respawns gives you more chances to steal a respawn and gives you more of your kind of stable mode to be able to win off of, especially if it goes to the game 5 here. If it goes the full distance and we end up seeing a final mode, guess what? We're going to another respawn, and that's where things can really get into a struggle for some of these teams.
It's not like you're going to get that game 5 round 11 ice, Jesse. It is going to a control, and you're going to be trying to spawn trap the other team as best as you can to make sure that they can't get anything done. So we're hopping into the search and destroy a little bit. It seems like somebody might have the wrong setup going on, so it might be a little bit of a longer wait heading into the search and destroy. But I am so glad, Jesse, that we got a sub-base map 1. Finally, we got to see sub-base, because I've been waiting to cast over it. It's just whenever you watch it, it's got that Bocage feel to it. And now that I've seen it, it definitely does feel like that crazy mixy map that we've got for like a Bocage back in Vanguard.
First off, I'm going to cut you off there, all right? We're not mentioning Bocage from Vanguard. That map gives me nightmares. I can't even think about casting that map again, because every time what?
It's banned.
It's banned. We're GAing talking about Bocage at this point, okay? I see that map in my nightmares every time. It was just so mixy, so chaotic, very tough to keep up with things when you're casting that map. At least for me, I always had a hard time with it. I think you remember that back in Vanguard. That map was tough, but sub-base on the other hand. I got good news
for you, Jesse. It might be like Bocage, but it's not Bocage.
It's not Bocage. Thankfully, I mean, I might cry. I'm not gonna lie. I might have
You've
cried.
made it out. You've made it out. We're in MW3 now. It's 2 years later.
Sub-base is just frozen Bocage. That's all it is. But no, I mean, it's a really fun map. I actually really enjoy watching it, especially. It's very mixy, like you said. And I think the best part about it, I love those maps that can go down in time, that are more kind of time specific. They're always going to be really fun ones to watch.
No, I agree with you, you know, through and through for sure. But, you know, in Search and Destroy, I mean, we've been seeing, I think we've actually seen every single map in Search and Destroy so far. I don't think we've got an invasion Search and Destroy, you and I, throughout this tournament. Well, we've seen our high rise, we've seen our Karachi, we've seen Terminal and Skid Row as well. We've seen invasion hard points, but I don't think we've got an invasion search and destroy. So I think that's the
I
next
think
thing
you're
that you
right.
and I have to check off inside of this tournament.
I think
So
you're right, and I really enjoy Invasion Search and Destroy actually as well. Now that you kind of bring that up, I mean, just the two different bomb spots and I'm kind of overlapping my points here. So I was going to talk about the bomb spots, but then also about the 3-lane map. The great thing about Invasion is the 3 lanes, right? We love 3-lane maps. If you're a Call of Duty player, if you're a Call of Duty caster, yeah, I think even if you are just like a general fan, 3-lane maps for Call of Duty are just the way to go. And Invasion is such a classic 3-lane map. You've got some really good high and low points on the map, but then also when it comes down to search and destroy, it's just you really have to determine where you're spreading out your defenses to stop these bomb planes from going down.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it a lot of fun, because it's not like there's only one bomb site that can be hit. Both bomb sites can be hit and hit very strongly.
And there's so many different routes that can be taken to execute onto those sites. It's not so one-dimensional with those 3 lanes, Jesse. It's definitely tough as a defender to kind of wrap your head around it. But we've seen so many different variations from the defensive side and the offensive side on which way they want to do. Whether it's a full bus stop street take, you have to worry about the player on bridge. If it's a full hit towards construction, you have to worry about the player sitting towards embassy watching from those pillars. Even still, if you want to hit a pinch through mid, a split push onto either side, then you got to worry about a player possibly being on the tank. There's just so many variations to setups that we've seen so far on this map. It's definitely a lot of fun to see, and I hope we do get to see it here as well. But I also hope to see Skid Row. Not a lot of people like Skid Row Search and Destroy, but
It's a fun one.
I enjoy Skid Row Search and Destroy, even when we're seeing it. I know we saw it earlier in the year with the Boston Breach 2v2 tournament that they did put on for Search and Destroy, and that was a lot of fun seeing Skid Row in a 2v2 setting. But when you add 4 players on the map, when you have to really worry about them flooding out those sites, flooding out those routes, Skid Row is fast, it's fun, and it's so hard to wrap your head around what they're doing.
The timings on that map are so important too. Early round timings, like pushing through bottom middle, there's always a big gunfight at that door in the middle of the garage. And then on the right side of the map, I'm just thinking from the offensive side, when you're pushing towards graffiti, it's almost like you're always having to push over towards that portion of the map, and you almost always lose the timing there. So it's like, how are we going to push this to be able to find the success here? So I'm right there with you. The two biggest things for me when it comes down to Skid Row Search and Destroy that I can think of is one, that fight bottom mid, because during the beta, that's all anybody did was everybody just pushed bottom mid on Skid Row Search and Destroy, trying to fight everything out. And then when we went to me and you actually were playing, I don't know if you remember this, when we were playing, it was early in the game, and we were just playing some Search and Destroy. We got Skid Row, and we had those 2 guys running around with the shotguns just being absolute demons on the map. Oh man, the Search and Destroy pubs are just
I GA
just
shotguns
a different
for my
level.
brain. I GA shotguns for my brain, Jesse. I always forget about it whenever those memories are suppressed. I don't want to think about those shotgun players at all. But I have some news for the game, Jesse. For those who are watching, waiting, tired of our little podcast of us going down memory lane, but we have to redo the hard point.
Yeah, it does indeed look like we're redoing the hard point.
We're going to be hitting the restart button on sub base and doing it all over again. Why, you might ask? Just one of the students, I think, broke one of the rules, one of the GAs here, and they were using tracer packs, one of the blueprints for the guns when you're not allowed to use tracers or blueprints. So we're going to run it back. South back going to have that second chance at, maybe fixing those mistakes, Jesse. But for West Charlotte, I'm sure they're looking to do, come out on sub base, do the exact same thing.
This might be one of the funniest replays I've ever seen. Based off Tracer, I'm just saying that's a funny one. I don't think I've ever seen a replay be done because of colorful bullets being shot at people. But hey, you know what? We got to respect the rules. We got to be able to go with the punches here. And yeah, like you said, we're gonna get a replay here. That's an interesting replay. So what we saw, let's kind of reel it back in towards sub-base hardpoint then. So what we saw in that first map was a lot of mid-map dominance by West Charlotte. So if South Mech now getting kind of a second chance at life here, I think if there's one thing that they really need to focus on here in this map is going to be really holding down those powerful positions in terms of middle map and just not allowing West Charlotte to get posted up on top third or up in top of computers to be able to shut that down. So we'll have to see. This could have this could be a very interesting one.
No, you're right. I think having a second chance, South Mac should be counting their lucky stars right now for that, because They were behind pretty much that whole hard point, and even, losing out on that third member for West Charlotte, they still were able to hold on to that advantage throughout that hard point, Jesse. So I think South Mech, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be a big tell on how they handle this first hill heading into it. And if, South Mech are, if they walk out here, I'm looking at, or if they walk out here and they want to upset West Charlotte on a map that they already won on, I'm looking at the rest of the team to kind of really double down on backing up Fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big thing too, is Fashion was really by himself in that first game. You had two players on the other team dropping, 37, 38 kills. Fashion dropped 47, and the team lost by almost, 75 points. So definitely need some players to step up here, help Fashion out. And if Fashion could somehow even drop more kills in this game than we saw into that first series, give us a 50 bomb. That would be crazy.
That would be absolutely insane. So we're just about to start in this hard point, Jesse, and I think, you and I both have kind of an understanding on what we're going to be looking here. And for the viewers at home, it really is going to come down to the team effort that South Mech bring in towards this sub base, because as we've been talking about this, it's a very mixy map. It's very chaotic. Things can get lost in the sauce in no time at all within maybe the first two hills. So you're really looking at them to use their teamwork to set up on those power positions early on and try to deny West Charlotte from a little bit of success right off the get-go. Deny them of that tempo, that pacing that really skyrocketed them inside of our first go at this hard point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that you bring that up again. The pacing was very much so in the favor of West Charlotte. We'll see what they can do this time. Right off the bat, again, it's going to be a push over towards P1. South Mech will be the first team here inside of the hill. Let's not forget the last time we had a break off, it was all the side of West Charlotte. This time, though, looking much more even between the two teams. And actually, we might even get South Mech to be the first team really holding down a good chunk of time here.
So let's jump right into it. South Mech this time going to start off with the initial time. Arctic soaking up with the rival 9 here. 2 early kills from Rory's Heart. That's a fantastic start, especially considering Acer and Fashion are also there. Unfortunately for South Mech, it's a flank and a West Mech. Killa's going to break that hill right away. Maybe stop the time for a little bit, but it's not going to matter. This is a great lead for South Mech.
Yeah, really good start here for South Mech right off the bat. Now we're getting ready to head over towards hill number 2 once again here. It's going to be the garage bay. And again, South Mech will be the first team inside of this new hill. It is only one player that's there, though. It is just Fashion. But I feel like if you want just one player by South Mech here, it is Fashion that you want to be alive here and around the hill. Spawn's really coming in on both sides. Kill will be the first player to attack inside, but Fashion just kind of playing a sneaky position right now and just playing as more, instead of getting time, just making sure that they're not allowing the side of West Charlotte to get any time at the moment.
32 seconds to 1. Fashion on 5 in a row, make it 6. That's a cruise missile already in hill number 2, and he's not done just yet. Fashion looking for the players off spawn, unable to lock down that kill, but plenty of damage to slow things down for this West Charlotte retake. Here they come. West Charlotte set up through the window. Acer finds 2. 1 with the nade, 1 with the MCW. Fashion will fall, but it's a 2 for 2. And Arctic is still alive on the inside. Now with the high ground, 1 versus 1 for the last 14 seconds. Arctic slides on in, and off the respawn, Fashion comes to his aid. And South Mech still flawlessly starting this.
Yeah, I mean, only 1 point allowed through 2 hills. A very good start, and they hold on to a good dominant position here going into this 3rd hill once again as well. And it's really Fashion who's doing a good job of shutting things down. Now you have 3 AM pushing in from the side, able to find this first initial break here, and this should be West Charlotte finally locking down some time for the first time today.
The last hill is going to open up. Rory Star, what a shot there. 4 kills, 4 deaths, but those 4 kills, Jesse, I feel like have been so influential on the way that South Mech have playing. Cruise missile from Fashion going to be swiped away by the trophy system. So now South Mech able to jump on in after the pressure that the cruise missile did allow. Nice out of West Charlotte to continue to battle this out. Zanny up top with the Renetti. Tries to fight out against an MCW, but it's not able to walk away with that kill. And South Mech still driving this hard point.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Colin. I really was curious on whether or not we were going to get a different looking game here between these two teams, just kind of based off of the fact that it was a replay based off of tracers. I really was like, I don't know if that's really going to be that big of an issue, but clearly it was for the side of South Mech.
Yeah.
They saw those tracers on the other side, instantly checked. But they're back. I mean, a very good start here for them. 73 to what 10 there off the rip. So can't really complain. Unfortunately, it does look like we dropped out of the lobby, so might not get be able to see what ends up happening there. Might have been the whole lobby break. Not too sure. We'll have to wait and find out some more information about that one.
Yeah, we're going to be waiting to hear back about what is going on with this game number 1, because the replay, I mean, shout out to South Mac Jesse. I mean, they played great toward the middle portion of that first hardpoint, but in the second one, I mean, West Charlotte just couldn't get anything going at all. So, I mean, we've seen the good and bads of both teams now, but as we get set up for, whatever is going on, as we look to get this information and understand what is happening, we're going to take a step back, Jesse and I, and we'll be right back with some more VESL Call of Duty Esports League after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin' and Jesse. I mean, we took a little bit of a break, but we have a little bit of a recap of what happened inside of map number 1. Unfortunately, we disconnected from the lobby, but the lobby was still playing. So we didn't get to see the finish, but we did get the scoreboard, and it was a South Mac win inside of map number 1. They replayed it, they came back, and they beat West Charlotte 250 to 188.
All I'm going to say is if you're going to blame the Tracers on a loss, you better come out with the win afterwards, and they absolutely did. So I can't say anything to West Mac. They came out, they get the win, they get the job done. Now we head into Search and Destroy on High Rise. And Colin, we were watching High Rise Search and Destroy yesterday, and this map was a lot of fun to watch. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, and Sandy's running the Striker 9. Usually we see the Rival 9, but the Striker used to be the meta back in the beta. So it's interesting to see him so diverse with this gun. The tack slide in still finds the kill. 3 down for South Mac, and West Charlotte even losing out on map number 1. It doesn't seem like that is going to keep them down for too long. So,
couple things to kind of break down after that. One, I mean, seeing Fashion in a 1v4 there, I low-key was getting a little bit of flashbacks from Jinx yesterday at the end there, because I feel like if there's only one player on this South Mac team that's going to pop a 1v4, it's going to be Fashion, right? But also, the main talking point yesterday when we were watching this map, Colin, was how important getting top helicopter control is in Search and Destroy, because the team that was able to do it more successfully yesterday, more often than not, was walking away with round victories. And I think we just seen why once again there. You get that top control. It's so easy to find those trades on either side of the map when you're up on top of the helicopter.
It truly is. So now we look to South Mac to see if they can find a way around this aggression shown by West Charlotte, though it still proves to be an issue. 3 a.m. this time, going to strike first with the first blood, and South Mac now, they have to find a way back.
Kill on the far right side. Fashion will drop them, just holding down a very long-range line of sight. Now a battle for top heli. Both players gonna just trade some shots, back up, but on the other side, 3 a.m. will find one of the kills, and now we have a 3v2 for West Charlotte here. One thing we do need to watch out for, too, is 3 a.m. on 5 in a row, already looking for some streaks just in round 2.
Arctic's got to be careful with the Rifle 9. That streaks for 3 a.m. like you alluded to. 6 in a row now. And 3 a.m. looking to take West Charlotte into a 2-0 start to this high-rise Search and Destroy. 3 a.m. with the full rotation out. West Charlotte just dominating so far in map 2.
Wow, and we did get a screenshot at the end of that first Hardpoint once we had the replay and everything done. And I just want to keep everybody aware that Fashion did almost drop 50 again. He went 44 kills and 20 deaths in the replay. And then on the other side of things, Killa and 3am, who I think might be the X factors here for the side of West Charlotte, kind of slowed down a little bit, right? Like, they popped off in that first game. They both had over 30. This game, they both were under 30, right? So that was a big difference maker. But 3am already more than making up for it here in this Search and Destroy at 7 kills after 2 rounds.
So you mean maybe you look to Fashion to bring this one back? Acer, I don't know if you meant to throw that, but
I don't think
maybe
so.
it was looking to open up the door. I don't know. Definitely did not seem like it was purposeful, but still, you know, South Mac down first blood yet again. Acer is going to fall. That's Zanny with the Striker 9. Going to find that first blood for West Charlotte for 3 rounds in a row, Jesse. And now South Mac, they need to start finding a way to trade this one out. They will. Arctic takes down Baby Hippo. Brings us into a 3 versus 3. Through the middle of the map. Oh, Arctic keeps it going, too.
That bomb really nowhere to go right now because everything is just being held down and watched at the moment by South Mech and Arctic. I like this play out of Arctic. They're going to overextend and try to cut off the rotation here from West Charlotte.
Arctic's in such a good spot. They have no idea, but Arctic won't be able to find the kill. Player stays alive. 2 versus 3 still for West Mac, but Fashion takes down 3am. Finally puts an end to that streak. And Zanny now all alone. Won't be able to trade out, and South Mech finally find their first.
That's brutal. I think that is a very tough gunfight to lose there to Arctic. Not only do you find the first couple shots, that is the MCW showing you just how strong that MCW could be versus the Striker. I think that if maybe there's a Rival 9 in his hand in that spot, Colin, I think that could have been a very different gunfight in that situation. But yeah, Striker not really popping off there. And that's going to be a good win. A nice job by Arctic there to find 3 kills in that round. Bring it back. Now they have an opportunity to tie this up, see what they can do here on their offense. It's just going to be a slow push through middle of the map. Fashion's taking a crazy one-on-one across the map right now. Normally this would be a sniper battle right now. It's all ARs. And yeah, I mean, if they keep shooting like this, they'll run out of ammo by 15 seconds into this round.
Plenty of ammo in that gun right now for Fashion, as we saw him put it to the best use back on South Base. Acer spots some information through over towards B. That's Killa, re-peeks it, finds the first blood for West Charlotte. That's 4 rounds in a row now that West Charlotte has been able to get that first blood, Jesse, but only 2 rounds where they turned it into a round win. So South Mech, who is going to bring it back? The bomb posturing back over towards A. Looks like they want to push in through blue, and Rory's Heart now taking the top side of the helipad. Stuns out front. Nothing's gonna land. Searching for that member. Spot somebody in and about the spawn, and that should be passage to maybe get the bomb down, and will be now that Fashion's found the kill.
Bomb goes down. You have a 2 versus 2 here. Possible chance at a retake, and a very big swing to the right here.
Oh, caught in the open. Fashion shut down by Killa. 2 versus 1. Rory's Heart set up onto the helipad. They should know this as well, and Rory's Heart has full eyes on this bomb. It's still going to be hard in the 1v2. Spots out on the first member. Both just racing around looking for this member. They have no idea where he is. And all Rory's Heart needs to do is peek out to the bomb, but he's got no eyes on. Finally, oh, he's going to spot him. 1 versus 1. Rory's Heart rechallenges the second one, and Killa with the clutch 1v1 gifted the defuse.
Really, really gifted that defuse there. I think there's a few things that we can learn from watching this round. I think that West Charlotte was in a really good spot early in that round, Colin, to be able to win that round out. But they gave up a lot of mid-map control just for free back over to the side of South Mech, which gave them that opportunity to push up, get up top heli, get that bomb down, win that 1v1 to make it a 3v3 again. But then later in the round there, you're in such a powerful position at the end of the round. If you're Rory's Heart up top, you get that first kill. All you need to do at that point with 10 seconds left, just lay down. You don't need to challenge anything at that point. Just wait. Once it gets back down towards the time, because it's only 7.5 seconds for the defuse, you might be able to win that round out if you play that a little bit more patiently instead of taking that second gunfight right away.
Really fast this round for West Charlotte, Jesse. They're already top helipad. Ace are going to get a rude awakening if you keep watching down this lane, but Charlotte haven't fully decided to take control of that helipad. They've backed down, looking to re-wrap over towards B as a member pushing all the way up that elevator side.
Ooh,
finally getting into underground. Rory's Heart spots a few. This is damage back and forth. Each team poking at each other, but nobody going down just yet. Baby Hippo might be hitting the most crazy flank right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this could be a really good flank here for Baby Hippo. You're absolutely correct. But, I mean, there has been zero map control at all for South Mech, and somehow they find themselves in a 3v2 here in this round because Fashion won a massive one-on-one on the right side of the map. If he loses that, that bomb goes down for free, and this is a free round for West Charlotte.
Well, it's not so free anymore. West Charlotte playing from the disadvantage. Already rotation around. Acer goes down top helipad. 2 versus 2. Bomb down at B. And a member being snuck up on once again inside the spawn. Killa gonna find Arctic. 1v2 for Fashion. Makes it into 1v1. But soon around the corner with the Renetti. Fashion just not expecting it. And West Charlotte again with the 1 versus 1 clutch being gifted these moments.
Yeah, I mean, well, they played that 2v1 really, really well, right? You take the first chow, then you have 3 AM running in from the opposite side. You're in a very tough spot there if you're Fashion at the end of that one, and unfortunately, you can't pull that round off. I mean, maybe you might get lucky, get a beat down there, but unfortunately not the case. And the battle still, Colin, very much so feels like it's between 3 AM and Fashion at the moment. Both players really playing well for their respective teams right now. And this round here, for West Charlotte on offense, I would very much so like to see them push out and get a little bit more aggressive and take away a lot of space here from South Mech, because they have been playing a little bit scared on their defenses, and they're getting a little bit lucky in some of these rounds, I think, because of it.
Might be luck, but
ooh,
at the end of the day, Jesse, we said it yesterday, we'll say it again today.
Fashion hit the outside wall run.
Same time, yeah, outside ledge. Fashion's gonna already be in and about the spawn of West Charlotte. 2 quick kills there for Fashion to switch this lead into a 3 versus 2. Both members underground for West Charlotte.
Both members about to be 6 feet under here, as well as Zanny, the last one left alive. 1 versus 3. This is always a tough situation to be in, and a striker 9 in hand. Oh, this one might be chalked. There are so many good positions for a lot of these South Mech players right now.
I mean, he's walking into the Bermuda Triangle of all these guns, just watching about him. Somehow manages to find a consolation kill, Jesse, but South Mech, they get the job done. They set up on 3 different points. They trap in Zane. And they finally get their second round. They finally put one away.
And for anybody who didn't see what happened off the start of that round, I know I kind of called it an outside wall run. Don't worry, nobody's running on the walls, but there's like a ledge on the far right-hand side of the map from the offensive spawn where you can kind of drop down, run, and then you jump up along the outside of the edge. And you can catch the defensive team off guard. It's exactly what happened for Fashion, as he was able to very quickly get in behind the spawn of the opposing team and be able to find that first blood, which eventually led to that round victory there for South Mech. And Fashion, once again, will find a first blood. Finally, Colin, it's starting to feel like the first bloods are starting to get evened out here in this map.
Yeah. And I think that South Mech, they really needed that. But, Jesse, don't worry. I mean, we know wall running's in the past. We know it's in the past. Now it's all about the outside ledge runs. Arctic. Oh, a little bit of bad timing here. It might cost him. Working around the outside, underground. Both members just dancing around each other with no information. Finally, Arctic's going to spot it out, and Killa almost got away with the kill. The 2 versus 3. West Charlotte at the disadvantage, but we've seen them win these before, so I wouldn't keep it away from the realm of possibility while 3 a.m. is still alive.
This map has given us some of the craziest timings that I've ever seen in Call of Duty over the last 2 days. 3 a.m. going to purposely shoot out the explosive barrels up top helicopter. Very smart play.
All a ruse.
Oh, and he actually baits Arctic into some fight as well.
I mean, Jesse already in through construction. The flank for Zanny has gone unnoticed with the Striker 9. This kill is going to be as free as you can ask for. The beatdown tried to go for the assassination, and that's left Fashion into a 1v1 with 11 seconds left. 3 a.m. has to play for the bomb plant. 7 seconds, now 5. There's no time to get this bomb down, and Fashion does not need to peek it out. It's going to be another round of South Mech. What a way to put that one away. Nice round win for Fashion.
That's a throw from South Mech there. From West Charlotte there. I mean, you don't need to push out and go for a beatdown there. You have a free kill. Just take your shots. Get your free kill. I mean, maybe you might still fall on the cross, but at least you wouldn't be a sitting duck punching a player in the back in that spot, giving Fashion just a free kill in the round. And Fashion is working towards possibly finding some streaks for themselves. And be very interested to see when 3M decides to pull out that cruise missile as well, Colin. Explosive barrel just took Killa out to start the round.
That is so unfortunate for West Charlotte. Things going from bad to worse to absolutely horrid here with another player down. Arctic making so much noise, just bursting through the doors now with this Rival 9. Dead silence actually was popped, so they should have no audio on this member, and Fashion is keeping all the eyes on him. 5 in a row for Fashion, now 12 and 4, and Arctic finally is known. Baby Hippo falls, and it's all down to Sandy in a 1 versus 3. Already just trying to finesse his life with the Striker 9. In and out, has nowhere to go. He's going to get hunted down and dropped all the way down to 65 HP, somehow living through all of this shenanigans. Jesse, what is he doing? The movement is here for Zanny, but he has to get these kills and defuse the bomb. 33 seconds to do it. Finds the first one, but with the bomb planted at A, neither of these players of South Mech, they don't need to go hunting.
You just don't have the time right now if you're Zanny to get this done, but you need to take gunfights. You need to take them right now. And just checking everything, but unfortunately not catching a great timing on either of these players yet.
I think he spotted out the one, but it's only 13 seconds. Somehow has made his way all the way through. Split down the middle. But again, Fashion's going to secure the win, and we are tied on high rise.
Tied at 4 apiece here. Let's not forget, I'm going to kind of bring it in a little bit more kind of to play for right now. If you're West Charlotte, you're down 1-0 in this series. It's only a best of 3 call, and you lose this map, you're done. This is your tournament over. If you're South Mech, you've got an opportunity now to put them away after just 2 maps being played. So lots on the line here in these next 3 rounds of Search and Destroy.
Oh, of course. Of course. So West Charlotte, this is so important. For South Mech, I mean, they want to get into that second round, Jesse. Minute 23, round begins, and we're heading over towards B. It's a double setup.
This is such a slow break off though from West Charlotte. They've given a lot of map control away to South Mech to be able to get into some decent positions here. Look at player number 7, Arctic, in the middle of the map. Could have an opportunity to be able to push up and get into a really annoying spot here.
Arctic might be thinking about hitting this flank. If the bomb's going down for free inside of this 4 versus 4, and now South Mech, they need to retake this one. My eyes are going to be on Arctic, as rightfully so. Arctic's going to pull that first blood, give a lead over towards South Mech. And Acer's going to haunt that diffuse right away. Is anybody here to watch it? They will be. Killa going to stop that. Fashion dies to the cruise missile. So taking himself down in this moment, taking himself out of the equation, and that's going to equal a round win for West Charlotte.
I didn't even see that on the board. Fashion took himself out with his own cruise missile.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Ends up falling.
Self-sabotage.
The only thing that can gun Fashion is Fashion, apparently, with his own cruise missile. Unfortunate, to say the least. But now, if you're West Charlotte, you have an opportunity to force us into a game number 3. We'll go back to high rise for a control. If you can just win one of the next 2 rounds, South Mech will have to be 2 rounds in a row here if they want to see the round number 2 and not have to play a map number 3 here. Gonna be nades going down from the side of West Charlotte, and it looks like they're on this defense going to try to take more map control than what we've really seen them do here so far. Big gunfight, 1-on-1, and that's going to be a first and second blood, both going the way of West Charlotte.
West Charlotte want to send us to control, and they want to do it now, Jesse. Acer and Rory's Hard. What kind of resolve do they have to bring us all the way to a round 11? 2 versus 4. Acer looking to take control of Propane, and he will. 3 AM goes down, and Acer might be looking to limit this round. The side of West Charlotte spots the second one. Whoa, but no kill. Rory's Heart, the team kill to a 1 versus 2. Bomb has to get picked up, but he's been spotted from all the way up top. West Charlotte put it away. We're going to a map 3.
Big 6-4 victory for West Charlotte. As much as we can probably grime and harp on little things, we can kind of wrap this into a lot of first bloods in that map, going the way of West Charlotte, leading to a lot of round victories for West Charlotte as well through that map. I mean, there's always those little things that happen, but first bloods are something that are very important if you look dominated in the first blood category, especially 3 AM with 4 throughout that map.
Yeah, 4 first bloods just alone. That's going to be such an issue, and it was such an issue for the side of South Mech. But hey, Jesse, I mean, if they reset, if they do it again, I'm sure they'd win it the second time around. Because sub-base, it might not have gone their way the first time, but after the reset, they were able to take away that map 1 victory in a very successful manner, with Fashion putting up 44 kills. Unfortunately, not a 2-0 for the side of South Mech. Now, if they want to win it out, they got to go all the way to a map number 3. And that's very fortunate for West Charlotte, who, when they're looking back at this could have been a 2-0 victory.
It really could have been. And I'm really interested to see high-rise control between these two teams, because yesterday, from what we were watching on high-rise, it felt like defense was very, very strong. It's always strong. Let's be honest. Defense and control is always very strong, but it felt really strong. It might have just been the two teams we had playing. I know I haven't gotten too big of an opportunity to watch a lot of control yet this year, so it hasn't been anything that's really necessarily stepped off the plate for me yet in terms of saying like, oh wow, this is like cut and dry. Offensive side is stronger, defensive side is weaker, or vice versa at any point on really any map yet at this point of the year. But it felt yesterday, at least at the high school level, defense was very, very strong from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, defense is strong on high-rise control for sure, Jesse. And we're going to get these players into the lobby as quick as possible, folks. So we're going to cut to a quick little break while we do so. When we come back, map number 3 between West Charlotte and South Mech. Welcome back, everyone, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruz and Jesse. We are 3 games in so far to our first match of the day. West Charlotte, they started off very strong, taking the Hardpoint. Fortunately, they had to replay sub-base, and that's when South Mech showed up and took that first map away from them. But we moved into the high-rise search and destroy. It was a little bit of a different scenario. West Charlotte, they moved back into their dominant fashion, and their first bloods took them to a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, I mean, a very close search and destroy, though. 6-4 going in their favor. I think a few first bloods go a different way. Fashion stays alive a little bit longer in a couple different rounds. I think the things could have been very different for South Mech there inside of that game. But nonetheless, we get a game 3. God, that's all that matters. We get a control here between these two teams. And honestly, I could not tell you who I think is going to win this right now. Based off of the fact that we played sub-base Hardpoint twice, and it was a very similar scoreline going either way, and then a very close search and destroy, these two teams seem very evenly matched.
Yeah, these two teams are really fighting tooth and nail to get that spot into the second round of the bracket, because just for a reminder for folks who may have missed the pre-show, this bracket is single elimination. So you lose here, you are done. You win, you stay alive. So starting off on the defensive side, West Charlotte definitely looking to be the favorite team here, Jesse, I'd say.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to see a big underground hit, actually, coming through from South Mech. This could be interesting. They're going to hop right onto that B zone. It's really up to Killa, the only player to be really in a position to be able to watch this. We'll have to push in just to try to contest the time a little bit here, and we'll find the first at the very least.
I mean, it's always down to Killa, and he's always good for at least one, but Zanny, can you follow up? Fashion says no. A nice double kill keeps the B zone alive for South Mech, and now working on that second segment. Not going to be locked in. Fashion has to jump right back in, and that second segment at B will be secure. Now working on the third one, but Charlotte quickly to get back into this. Is there a stack? Will they get it here? And now, Jesse, they will. The B zone gets secured.
And I feel like this is a pretty similar story to what we saw yesterday. B seemed to go pretty quick, but it was A. That was the challenging zone to really be able to hit. That's an interesting hop up over by Arctic. We'll find the kill, and a big job done now from South Mech. They'll be able to hop onto the A zone. We said defense looked a little stronger, but they might be able to zone these players out as they push into the new hill.
Well, Baby Hippo gets caught by a stun. Fashion finds 2. Hopping in for the contest. First segment hasn't been found. And, oh no, the self-nade from Baby Hippo gives a little bit more space for Fashion to work with. Zanny dies to a team nade. Oh no, things going horribly for West Charlotte, Jesse, as the second segment is being worked on. Killa hops into contest once more, surrounded by members. Arctic will take him down. And the second segment still yet to go in, but now it will be locked. Third segment getting worked on. West Charlotte, they need to go, and they need to hop in soon enough, Jesse, and they will. They'll take Arctic out finally.
And somehow through all of those stuns, nades, and the whole kitchen sink being thrown at A, and a lot of team nades, Arctic stayed alive for 2 whole ticks of progression in there.
Yeah.
Very good job done by them. Now it looks like they're going to try to pull that rival 9, maybe try to hit the outside ledge. Won't be able to find any success there. But this is really good map positioning right now here for West Charlotte. They've been able to move up, get some powerful spots, and take away some of the positioning away from the South Mech players. And now actually going for some spawn kills as well. South Mech needs to really slow it down, group up together, and take one big hit at this. Otherwise, you're just going to keep running into players who are just posted up on head glitches.
1 life difference right now. South Mech in the advantage there. Fashion. A shot. Arctic just cannot connect at range. Now with this lead, the raid force is already back in towards it. Arctic looking to stay alive. It seems like Acer hunting down a player underground on the prowl. Just hasn't been able to catch up on the inside. Clock's going to be stopped. Rory's heart inside of this segment, inside of the zone. Only good for the one. The trade's out for West Charlotte. And now lead back down to 1 life. Fashion's going to be spotted. Shots tough for the chain link fence. And the Renetti won't be good enough to get the kill.
That's tough. He stopped shooting. He thought he had that one finished off there. Unfortunate, not going to be the case. And this has been a really strong defensive hold from West Charlotte. The fact that those 2 first ticks went very quickly and it was looking like this round was going to be over, they have really done a great job of stabilizing. Only 27 seconds left here now, Colin. And if you're South Mech, you need to make one big final push at this together.
Here they come, but there they go. What a lineup from Killa. 3 down. Fashion, the only one here to make a play. 15 seconds, has to bide some time and hit this at the last best possible chance. Fashion caught in the open. 12-5. It might not matter for this first round. In goes Acer. The contest is out as well. The kills they need to follow. Arctic finds one. Traded out by 3 a.m. Fashion looking to get involved, but he just cannot make anything out of this with 5 seconds left. Fashion goes down, and the round as well. West Charlotte, they hold on to the defensive side.
Wow, a really good job by West Charlotte. I mean, don't get me wrong, the damage was done. 5 ticks of progression inside of that round for South Mech. A very good round for them nonetheless. But I mean, wow. West Charlotte's ability to regain in that round, Colin, immaculate. If you ask me, I mean, they were looking down and out. Team nades after team nades, killing each other, killing themselves. It was a struggle to hold on to that A point. But then they finally got a player in there. They finally stabilized the A zone. And then once they got that stabilization, it felt like South Mech, who at one point, they had like a 4 or 5 life lead, was never able to really even get back into it. And it ends up actually losing that round by about 7 lives as well. So great job by the side of West Charlotte. And now off the break off here, it looks like they're going to be hitting over towards A off the rip.
Oh, Fashion! Starting off the round with a bang. The propane kills 2, and Acer finds a 3rd right away. And, I mean, you saw how hard it was for West Charlotte to start their defensive side. Well, South Mech looking to get into the groove right off the rip. But look at the answer back from West Charlotte off the respawn. They answer back with a quick 3 of their own. Killa has been securing this time inside of B, securing the progression to hopefully get the 2nd tick. Now with the stack, it should be going fast. I like that out of Zany to clear out the lane as well. Arctic hops in for the contest, but a team nade again, and Fashion needs to make his play, but Baby Hippo shuts that down, and so much chaos, Jesse. West Charlotte, they're big chillin'.
Yeah, 3 ticks of progression, lock that first zone down, and now it's all going to be about the rotation over towards A. Fashion, locking down middle of the map, just trying to make sure that none of the players here on the side of West Charlotte can sneak through, and that's a great job to pick up the straggler on the backside. That player could have been able to cause a lot of damage. Now, with nobody on your back, it's going to be all eyes forward and just trying to shut down this first initial push over to B.
Zanny finessing back into the zone, stops the clock, and even finds a kill there onto Arctic. 2 quick kills out of West Charlotte. Now the progression being worked on. Another one from Baby Hippo, and that's going to make things a little tough here for South Mech. Need to find a way back into the zone while it's slowly getting worked on, and that nade is going to help a whole lot, Jesse. Fashion, Rory's Heart, everybody here to shut it down.
And I mean, that's a great nade by Fashion. If Rory's Heart loses that gunfight, that nade saves a lot of damage there. And that A zone never finished off, Colin. I thought it was completed. They actually never get that first tick of progression in at A, and now you've got to deal with Fashion set up in a very powerful position towards the back side of A, just not really allowing any of the players to push up and get into a strong position on the offense.
Fashion looking for yet another kill. He will. Just not able to get that cruise missile at the end of it. Zandy now. Striker 9 caught in the stun and walks right out into the open. Almost finds a kill, but it's South Mech still holding on, Jesse. Baby Hippo now. A little bit of a cheeky angle here. All the way from the ledge. Hops on up. And even catches Rory's Heart. Not ready for that gunfight. So now looking to set up shop for a couple of team kills, but Fashion just won't let that happen.
And the life lead now really starting to dissipate here for West Charlotte. 11-8, 3 life lead for South Mech. But you can see this is what we were asking for South Mech to do a lot in the last round. They're really slowing this push down now. If you're West Charlotte, you're going to group up, try to make a play together, and look at the player on the bottom making that outside ledge run. That player might be able to just make the difference here.
Yeah, Baby Hippo doing it again, but Zanny's the one to open up the floodgates now. Out onto the zone. Zanny, a second one. Baby Hippo finally jumps up, and 3, yeah, puts it away. The stack on A. This is going to go fast.
Oh, and this forces a spawn out through middle of the map as well. And actually, it looks like we're going to see 3 players go on an overextension.
Oh, this is going to be fast. Fashion's going to be the first one there. Zanny flooding the comms, letting them know. They turn around. Zanny gets rid of Rory's Heart, and they take another 4 in a row. 2 lives left for South Mech, but it's not going to matter. West Charlotte, they lock down the A zone, Jesse, and they win an offensive round.
Wow, I really like a lot of the plays we saw there at the end of the round. I like the ability to go for that long overextension, send those 3 players through. Unfortunately, Zanny caught a great timing on those players and was able to drop them down. But That on top of the fact that we saw, I'm trying to think of who it was. I believe it was Baby Hippo who made that outside ledge run, jumps up on the side. What that does is it forces that spawn out for all the South Mech players in that position, kept making them spawn out in middle of the map, kind of towards the B portion of the map, and just did a great job of being really annoying because then they could not hit that from the front of the hill. They had to hit it from some awkward angles, and a great job done by them. They were looking down and out, and they were able to find another round win. 2 great round wins from West Charlotte, Colin.
Yeah, and now South Mac, I mean, they won the Hardpoint, Jesse, in the second go-around, but since then, it's been all West Charlotte. Now it's going to be a reverse sweep instead of this control for them to have a chance.
There's a player up on the crane.
Yeah, there's a player up on the crane. Fashion.
Baby Hippo again. He is just hitting all the parkour spots that you can hit on this map right now.
I don't even know if it's going to pay off that much. You don't get any vision until towards the B zone, and he's going to be seeing some players off spawn, but even still, that second progression is going to be locked in over towards B. Somebody's got to shut this one down, but Fashion's going to win a kill over towards the elevator lane. 3AM hops in for the contention, but overwhelmed. But yet again, it's Fashion for a double kill, and the B zone gets locked down.
And I like that call out you made. Baby Hippo better go massive up in this top window now that they've gotten up inside of this position. Otherwise, you are just going to be costing a lot of points for your team up in this spot because you are not really doing anything on the map outside of controlling the middle lane.
Sometimes that's just not enough, Jesse. So Fashion working this flank. Another kill. Killa wrapping around. A little ring around the Rosie, and the Renetti's going to be the one to finish off that kill. Snaps up with MCW, comes up 2 HP. Killa, another one. Acer finally looking to put an end to this player, but the reinforcements have arrived, and Acer will not last in the inside of that zone. Fashion now looking to stay alive, find that kill, and he will. So 18 lives to 20, minute 33 to play with here.
The interesting thing, though, no ticks of progression here yet for South Mech. The last time that we saw the side of West Charlotte be able to get a really good setup onto A, it was with 2 ticks of progression, and South Mech was not able to get another single tick. This time through, though, a solid setup goes down. West Charlotte gets broken very quickly here, and now South Mech setting up, and they've already got a tick, almost 2 ticks of progression as they stack the point.
Yeah, they're stacking the points. The second progression is going to be in. Now working on the third. Rory Star's going to go down. Arctic as well. It's 3 down. Acer gets spot on the flank. And it's all down to Fashion. And the inside, the kill goes his way. Still working on this progress. And Fashion 7 in a row. Fashion going above and beyond right now for South Mac.
Wow, Fashion gets the job done at the end of the round to close that off for the side of South Mech to win that round. Baby Hippo is climbing everything in this game. Sorry, I just saw that final kill cam. Baby Hippo is playing high rise the way high rise should be played, Colin.
Yeah. Too bad there's not a sniper in his hand. I feel like I'm ready to see Baby Hippo do a YY 360 no scope off the map.
Absolutely. I'm here for it. But I love the point that you brought up, Colin, about Fashion doing absolutely everything. Because the man is on 36 and 13 through 3 rounds of control right now. That is absurd numbers.
I mean, you can not ask for anything more from Fashion right now. He's even got the cruise missile. Arctic dies. I don't know what Arctic died to. I think he fell off the map. I think he fell off the map, to be honest, Jesse. It looked like it was just a little bit out of bounds. So
that's definitely possible as well.
It's a little bit of a Clayster moment there for South Mac, but West Charlotte looks like they're jumping all over this opportunity. Sammy doesn't know where to look, and that's going to take the player out of the zone, but back in they go. It's now Rory's Heart. Much needed kill there to stop that third segment from getting worked on, but there's still more work to do. Jumps all the way up top. No idea from 3AM, and Rory's Heart being a little bit cheeky now.
They shut down B, but look at A. All the members from West Charlotte going to come off spawn, wrap their way over towards the A zone here. But unfortunately, through middle of the map, Fashion will find 2, and Zanny really just needs to slow down now. Try to play together, find a few picks of their own. Because we saw once they slowed everything down in the last round that they were on offense, they did a really good job to bring it back, give themselves a chance inside these rounds. Arctic will go down on B. The slow hit all together works once again here. You do get a final contest. I don't think they were fully ready for it, but they will get the job done nonetheless. No, they don't. The zone does not go through.
And they're still contesting it, Jesse. Baby Hippo won't lock it in. 48 seconds left over towards A. Fashion's going to get rid of Zanny. And the time continues to go down inside of the A zone. Arctic just living with the rival 9. Trades back and forth, and Acer continues to be an issue here for West Charlotte. Baby Hippo jumps down for the helipad. He's gonna fall. 14 lives left for West Charlotte, Jesse, and there's only 33 seconds.
They're getting frantic right now, Colin, and playing frantic in Call of Duty and not together in control is always a recipe for a disaster. They might get one final break at trying to get into this B zone and trying to finish it off. They do get a trade to go through, but immediately challenged once again by Acer. Acer only gets one, but you still have players from South Mech to challenge this hill.
So much back and forth, so many trades, but that's okay right now. If you're South Mech with the life lead that you have, Jesse, 15 lives to 9, they can give up B if they need, but they're not giving it up at all. 26 seconds. Rory's again going to jump onto the generators. Finally a break from West Charlotte. And 3 a.m. might be able to put it away. He will. Minute 26.
Oh, this is a real opportunity now for West Charlotte to be able to push across and get into A as well. No map control at all for South Mech right now.
One last chance now for South Mech. Things have turned real fast. 9 lives to 8. Tied up, Zanny and 3 a.m. on the inside of A. It's 3 kills simultaneously. The contention's still in, but Zanny finally breaks the lives for West Charlotte. This is where the breakdown happens, Jesse. And they give it up. They back out. They take the kills.
Start playing for kills. I think they knew that there was a player overextending, so they wanted to make sure they shut that player down. Now focusing back inside of the point. They win a couple more gunfights, but there is still contention. There's not enough contention, though, and West Charlotte wins the map as an overextension through bottom mid does not pay off. They couldn't touch. South Mech falls. West Charlotte moves on to round 2.
I cannot believe what just happened, Jesse. That was a breakdown. That was a breakdown on stream in 4K in front of our very own eyes. I like, that was South Mech's round. They were doing everything right. But in the flick of a switch, 3 kills go down. No, 4 kills in a row for West Charlotte over towards B. 3 a.m. wins out the zone. And then you called it yourself. The rotation over towards A was flawless for them to just stack it.
And it really comes down to even a call that you made earlier in the round as well, where they were not giving up that B point. They wanted to win that round off time. They did not want to give up that last final tick at B, and they put themselves in a very vulnerable position because they did not give up that final tick. Sometimes it's better just to say, hey, you know what? Let's just firm handshakes on this point. You take it. We're going to set up, get a full hold over here at A, because what, they would have had maybe a minute and like 15 seconds left. It was getting really down to the wire on that B point before they got to it, and unfortunately they just were not able to get the job done there, Colin. And it happens. It's something that teams are going to have to learn from here inside of this league, and that's what this league's all about. Like we said, it's really about learning and finding your foot, getting your foot inside of Call of Duty for maybe the first time for a lot of these players. And a fantastic series by both these teams. They should feel no disappointment in themselves for falling in that game, especially Fashion. You are incredible. Please continue with Call of Duty. You look very talented. It's just unfortunate that you ended up falling here at this point of the tournament, but a great job nonetheless by both teams.
And an unfortunate departure there for South Mech for sure, Jesse. I mean, we could have been seeing both of these teams move into the second round, but it's just the way that a single elimination bracket goes. One team has to move forward, one team has to lose. And for South Mech, unfortunately, this is where we get to say goodbye. So we can take one last look at this bracket after our game is finished. It goes all the way to High Rise, goes all the way to a map number 3. And I think, you know, West Charlotte, Jesse, they're wiping the sweat off their forehead because it should have been a 2-0, but it was pushed all the way to a map number 3, an unfortunate ruling back in map number 1. And you can see towards the bottom of our bracket, West Charlotte, South Mech. It will be West Charlotte now, moving on to play the winner of Monroe and Lee County B. Jesse, you and I both knowing that Lee County B team is
it's a dangerous one. So I mean, obviously we haven't seen Monroe yet. I don't want to count anybody out, but that Lee County B team was very good, and if they were able to win that round 1 matchup, that's going to be a fun match to watch between Lee County B and West Charlotte in round number 2.
It really will be. But next up on screen, we have Lee County A versus Ridgedale, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Ragsdale versus Lee County High A. Coming up next up on stream, so we're going to get these teams ready to go. We're going to hop to a break, but we will be right back with some more VESL Call of Duty Esports League. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. My name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin'. We are now heading into our second match of the day, Jesse, after a very prolonged match number 1.
Yeah, you know what? It went a little longer than we thought it was going to. And it's not even because it went to a map 3. It's because we had to replay map 1 after a full playthrough of map 1. Then we, a
Game
little
2
break
went to,
afterward.
round 10.
It's been everything. But it wouldn't be a Call of Duty event unless there was like little hiccups here and there. I feel like it's just what adds that little extra flavor to Call of Duty. That's what we love so much about
That
it.
extra zest, that extra spice that goes through these broadcasts. It's because of the close games. I mean, even game number 2, like I said, it was going all the way to round number 10. So it was a pretty close-knit game that we saw back in our first match there. And that leads into our second match, Jesse. It's going to be Ragsdale versus Lee County High A. So this is going to be a fun one, especially considering we have yet to see either of the teams quite like our first match of the day. So for you and I, this is a little bit of a learning experience. We kind of have that litmus test, I'd say, going into a lot of these matches of like, who can beat your Awake leadership team? Who's going to be that pop-off player of these teams? And now I'm excited to learn these two teams as we hop into our terminal hardpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did get a chance actually to see Lee County B yesterday, and they looked really good. So I'm excited to get a look at Lee County A here as well. And we'll get a good chance now to kind of get an opportunity to see how these two teams really pop off here. And it looks like an immediate flank actually coming out through players 5 and 7 here. This is a really great break off from Ragsdale.
This is a fantastic break off from Ragsdale. That's going to cement a little bit of early time where Lee County A went for the full rotation over towards the jewelry. Now it's a 3-prong break. Vortex along for this flank. Not spotting the player right away, but will be able to get that last kill in. Won't be able to stay in for too long, Jesse, but there are still members here from Lee County A to hop back into the hill.
Yeah, and as good of a break-off as that was for Lee County, Ragsdale has done a really good job now just to be able to kind of counter that, get back inside of the point for themselves here. Now going to start to pick up a little bit of time. We do have to look across the map. We are going to be heading over towards Jewelry for our second hill. And so far, it looks like it's going to be very much so controlled by the side of Ragsdale. Only one player from Lee County over that way.
Yeah, for the rotation over towards Jewelry, you got to worry about this one-on-one. Mystic not looking the right way. A little bit of bad timing. Snaps over. Somehow still alive. Jesse goes back in, but will eventually fall. 3 quick kills coming out from Lee County A, as now they are looking to push this lead.
Yeah, really good setup now for Lee County. They've team shots coming through as well. But yeah, Lee County set up inside of the hill. This is going to be a tough one to break here if you're Ragsdale. This might honestly be one of those points where you just chalk it and you head over towards plane and get a full setup.
It might be a write-off. I mean, look just how far Ragsdale are spawning. They're still going to take a shot at it, though. Shifty finds that first kill in a pinch. Does get shut down eventually, but Shifty still finding so many kills on the inside of this hard point. Snaps over with the Renetti. Won't be able to secure that last one, but Mystic and Moke looking to work together to break on in. Only 3 seconds left. It's not worth it. Lee County A now 74 points to 17 as we head over towards the plane.
And
Ragsdale,
the spawns
first
flip
one
at the absolute worst time here, because now you have a full setup here for Lee County A again.
Yeah, Baller looking to finesse to get in. Contention's out somehow. Holding this one. Ragsdale peeks into the back. That's such an important kill to get. Look how far Lee County are spawning.
All the way across the map. Now having to push their way in through the plane. The nade gonna miss here as well. But you do get a little bit of a setup now for Ragsdale. I don't know how they broke it, but they found a way into the hill. And now you've got Lee County A now kind of the exact same position, spawning all the way across the map, needing to find a way to push their way into this. But this has been a great answer back from Ragsdale after a very slow start.
I mean, the tough part is going to be the rotation over towards Burger Town, Jesse, after this, because we've seen 60-point holds on planes before, but it's the rotation over to Burger Town that really seems to be the issue, and it seems like Mystic is already on the case. The full rotation over towards P4 is the first one here, already set up in the back, losing teammates and stunned up, so now Mystic, a lot on the menu to have to walk away with this, finds the first one, but won't be able to get anything more.
Nope, not able to get anything more. Vortex as well. Inside of Burger Town now. Just going to hold this down from his side of things. You do get a push from both sides of the map, but now with the backside cleared, this is going to give Lee County A an opportunity just to put their full defensive focus towards the front side, towards the escalator portion of the map, and I thought it was going to work out well for them, but it's a break from the front from Lucy Ragsdale.
Yeah, I mean, just keeping it competitive, keeping it scrappy, Jesse, and I mean, Ragsdale not out of it for too long. 103 to 68. Moke soaking up the rest of this time. 5-5. Hasn't been a terrible game so far from Ragsdale, but a little bit of a slow start where they're starting to ramp it up as Terminal continues.
And this should be the last 5 seconds for sure going their way. You head over towards Library in the middle of the map, and this is going to be a full setup once again here for Ragsdale. Colin, they are very much so bringing this map back.
Oh, 100%. Only 10 points down now. Member in the back does end up falling, so Moke will be taken care of. And it looks like Bloody Trash Kills is going to try to set up a flank, but that's immediately sent to the wayside. Mystic finds that kill. A trade in and about, and Moke's nade collects a teammate, an enemy, and Shifty puts down Demon 1. So that's going to be still Ragsdale in the lead now as they turn things around. Shifty is on 5 in a row, Jesse, on his way to streaks. If he gets this cruise missile, what a turnaround we're seeing here from Ragsdale.
Through the middle of this game so far, Colin, I mean, as good of a start as that was for Lee County A, look at the slaying on the side of Ragsdale at the moment. Shifty, 15-8. You got 12-7 for Mystic, 9-5 for Baller. Moke is the worst statistical player on the team at 7-8 right now, and that's not even bad. So this is a great start here for Ragsdale, able to push their way in, hold on to a lot of this time here. The new hill will pop. We go back to P1, and it's going to be Ragsdale again, first team here, although you do win the first few gunfights for the side of Lee County.
You do, and it's been, I guess, trouble when it comes down to holding this setup for Lee County A. Vortex, nice initial shots, looks for a second one, won't work. Demon 1, the swing, trades back and forth at Shifty after what was a fantastic P5, looking to continue into the new set of rotations with the same momentum. And not to forget that back at P5, Jesse, it was a 7 spree from Shifty, so he has the cruise missile to work with as well. So lots now for Ragsdale to continue to push this lead even farther here on Terminal Hardpoint.
Absolutely. The only problem, like I keep kind of hinting at the last few days with the cruise missile on this map, is very hard to find a good amount of success on this map with that cruise missile. I think really the only hill that you could find a good amount of success with it is on P3 once we head over towards Plain, because you can kill some players in and around the hill, maybe on the outside of whoever's holding the hill at the time. But outside of that, all the rest of the hills, they are all indoors, and it is tough to find a kill with that cruise missile.
It really is. You got to bend it like Beckham, as a good friend of ours would say. We're going to have to wait and see if the players have that capability. Baller watching the cross. Good for one. Can't find the second one. Shifty keeping the numbers in favor of Lucy Ragsdale. However, Vortex gets the break. Death looks to find the setup, and Shifty off the respawn. Immediately back into the swing of things. Triple kill on 8 in a row. Make it 9 in a row to break back in. The only thing that's killing Shifty is his own team, Jesse. So 22 important seconds here that Lee County A don't want to give up with. They're going to fight right back into this one. Moke stuck on the outside, caught with the stun, and that's going to ultimately be the fall of this player. So the last 10 seconds of scrap going to Lee County A, it looks like.
Really good job there from Lee County. Those are important seconds that they need, but they actually get broken right back. Baller hits for old. They get the scrap time back. And we saw a break here in the first set of rotations, but this might be the first time we've ever seen the side of Lee County A really get an early setup and a good, solid-looking setup. However, though, you do lose 2 players off the bat. Now we need to see another big hit from Lucy Ragsdale just to be able to push their way through and be able to get inside of this hill. There is only one player still solid inside this at the moment.
Swaps the Renetti at just the worst time there, and that's going to be a break back in for the moment for the contention here. Shifty wins out a big kill in the back. That's 15 seconds here for Lucy Ragsdale to look to pick up. Shifty goes unnoticed by Bloody Trash Kills, Jesse, and now Lucy Ragsdale, they amass the 200-point marker.
They do. This has been a banger of a map number 1. Only 20 seconds separates these two teams. We're going to head now back over towards the 4th hill here. We're going to Burgertown. It will be the side of Lee County A set up inside of the hill. This is going to be a tough spot to be able to break their way back into.
On the cross here, shaky shots, but walks away with the kill. A second from Shifty, who's been an absolute monster so far. 33-13 from Shifty. Vortex cowering into the back of Burgertown, and here they come. Lucy Ragsdale for the break yet again. Vortex hiding away into the back. Has a little bit of backup. The Detroits are out, and it's Vortex to stay alive. Contention back in, but they don't know where he is. Vortex, another kill, and Demon 1 helps to keep away Lucy Ragsdale.
Oh my goodness, Colin. I mean, Lucy Ragsdale took over the middle portion of this map, but the start and the finish so far feels all Lee County A. That big lead that they built right away held them in this game for a long time here. Now going to be able to put themselves about 13 seconds off the win once they hold on to the remainder of this time. We head back to Library, but let's not forget our first time to Library. It was dominated by Lucy Ragsdale's team.
Yeah, it was Shifty to put 7 in a row to make that happen. Shifty gonna keep Moke alive here. Pops up, finds one, back down for the contest. 48 seconds. Moke just being such a nuisance right now. The Semtex hopes to ward them off, but here comes Baller to keep Moke alive. Healing back up. Trying to get the full HP, but a Shifty. 3 kills again. Baller, Moke, all staying alive here for Lucy Ragsdale, Jesse.
The big thing, though, is Lucy Ragsdale cannot win on this hill, Colin. They did enough. Lee County did just enough here to be able to stop them from being able to get the win. We are guaranteed another set of rotations unless Lee County is able to put it away here on Library, but it is not looking likely with this setup that we are seeing. If you're Lee County A, you need to go to Zone 1, go back to P1, and just get a full setup and try to zone out Lucy Ragsdale on this rotation.
They're constantly being caught out on these rotations. Jesse Death looking to race out here. Is going to be a kill here with Arrival 9. Nice to hop in for this time, but here comes the collapse from Lucy Ragsdale. The trace back and forth, and they're in. Now 17 or 13 seconds left to win out on map number 1. This has been an absolute marathon, but it could be Lucy Ragsdale walking away with Terminal Hardpoint, and it looks like it will be 250 to about 237. What a way to play this first map. What a win for Lucy Ragsdale.
Yeah, really great first map there. I mean, it was looking like a very one-sided affair, Colin, through those first 3 hills that we saw. But Lucy Ragsdale was able to really turn it around once we saw Burger Town in the first set. We saw once it got to Library in the first set of rotations, that's really where they brought that score back into their favor. And I mean, when you're looking at that team, we got to be talking about Shifty right now. 39
Oh, of course.
on Terminal is a lot of kills. I know we went right down to the wire there, but a massive map number 1 there for Shifty. Like you called out as well, a 7 spree inside a Library is almost unheard of. An absurd stat line to see there. Very great map number 1 out of him.
It was like a 7 spree followed up with a 9 spree, Jesse. I mean, a lot of the breaks that we saw from Lucy Ragsdale were off the back of some big moments coming out from a player like Shifty, just hitting those routes, constantly shooting the players in the back, and allowing his teammates to hop into that hill and start collecting that time. So that's a huge moment for a comeback there from Lucy Ragsdale. A big momentum boost heading into this map number 2, which does seem to be... I want to say we're going back to high rise.
I believe it's high rise as well. I think that's what I remember seeing as well. I'm not 100% on that. Maybe we can get a confirmation on that, but I believe it's high rise that we are heading to for that second map.
And if that's the case, then you got to look at a player like Shifty. You know, First Bloods have been the talk of the town between you and I when it comes down to high rise. And a lot of teams finding success, and a lot of teams really not finding success in this map. So if Shifty continues like that, Lee County A are going to have quite a hard time.
Yeah, absolutely. Shifty looked really, really solid in that map 1. Colin, we just got some intel as well. I don't know if you want to go over that, but should I say it? Should you want to say it? I'll just say it. Whoever wins this game, we just found out, will be in our final match of the day as well. And they're going to be going up against Garinger A. And we've seen how good some of those Garinger teams were. What we saw B on stream, we've seen C on stream. Yet to see Garinger A. But I mean, man, if Garinger A has already made their way through to this point, they got to be a little bit talented at the very least, right?
I mean, you know, if I know anything about scoring a team, when it comes down to it, you got C, B, and then A. So Garinger A seems to be the top team coming out of that school, and I'm excited to see how they play out in our match number 4. And the winners here, I mean, with how close in contention Lee County A and Ragsdale are, you know, I like to say this a lot when we're looking at single elimination brackets, but in round 1 of the tournament, when teams are as close as this, it's not a good look for a team looking to make a full run through this bracket, especially considering we know the strength of some of these teams heading into it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be really tough, right, to be able to make their way through to the end of that, but kind of reining it back in. We're going to head to Search and Destroy here.
Yeah.
Extremely tight map number one. Like we said, I believe we're going to high rise. ARs on high rise so far from what we've seen in this tournament have been really the difference makers. That does scare me a lot because Shifty looked incredible at the MCW in that map number one for the side of Ragsdale. So Lee County A, who is going to be the player on their team to really step up to the plate and really be able to combat and fight that AR role? Because I mean, if you're just going to let Shifty run around the map and do what he did in that map number one, there could definitely be some tough things going on there for this Lee County team.
It's definitely going to be some repercussions. Won't disagree with that at all, Jesse. But at the same time, with Lee County, you can't look at this team and see the scoreline that they had back in Game 1 and expect them to not show up here. So on the offense first for Lee County A, let's see how they're going to bounce right back in towards this series. It seems like it's going to be a quad hit to the B side. Couple going underground, but flooding out towards this elevator lane. Demon 1, Rifle 9 in hand, already making his way onto the flank. Let's see if it's going to pay off. They have no idea, and it will be for first blood, but the answer back from Lee County, or sorry, from Lucy Ragsdale. The 2-for-1 trade. Baller watching the flank. What a heads-up read.
I was going to say they got the right player out right off the rip. They took out Shifty, but Baller's doing a great job here. And the pistol, the Renetti comes out, not able to find the kill. Onto Vortex, but 12 HP in a dream right now, just trying to stay alive. A team kill.
Going to come out. Vortex gets away, and now this is going to be a 1 versus 1. 26 seconds. Vortex just trying to make this very hard to locate, but Mystic will end up locking that kill down, and it may have been close, Jesse, but it is going to be Lucy Ragsdale taking round 1.
What was the end of that round? A team kill to get us into a 1v1. And then I don't even know that you could run across the top of that wall. I'm not going to lie to you, Colin. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that. Climbs the wall. And we're going to see it again here in the final kill cam. Just makes a final sprint. Never mind. We're not going to get to see it. I thought we were going to get a final kill cam there. Maybe the Diffuse decided that they didn't want us to see it once again there. But that's fine. A good first round out of Lucy Ragsdale. You do get first blooded there. You lose Shifty very quickly in the round. But outside of that, though, everything else really goes your favor.
Yeah, and a big moment there from Baller for the double kill. So now into the defense for Lee County. Not able to win out on that 1 versus 1. Vortex definitely going to be kicking himself there. Always time to bounce back here and search and destroy. Always time to slow down the games. It seems like Lucy Ragdale's attack kind of narrowing down the A zone, but it's a full push down and towards blue, and they're going to catch Demon 1 for free almost, and that is going to put Lee County now on the defense here. 2 versus 4 now. Vortex looks to make a play. The jump up over towards B. Hasn't seen the players, and Lucy Ragsdale just running circles around. Finally, Vortex going to spot the bomb carrier, and there's the trade, but it seems to be already too late, Jesse.
Yeah, it might just be too late. Bomb should go down here quite easily. It's going to be all up to Death. Death falls, and that's going to be Ragsdale taking round number 2 as well. This has been a really, really strong performance from them. They find that first blood in this round here, and then immediately just kind of turn it into a second. They get that nice big man lead, and I mean, once you get a lead like that and you're down to just one player, very, very tough from the side of Lee County to be able to come back in that round. And I mean, that's just a great job by Ragsdale to get into those positions to be able to win those rounds. And Shifty also, Colin, in that last round finds the full ace.
The thing is for Lee County, who's going to stop Shifty? Because Demon 1, 1, and 2, Vortex 2 and 2 has had some moments, but for bloody trash kills and death, not the greatest map number 1s, and is continuing to be quite an issue here in map 2 as well. Take a look at the positioning here for Lucy Ragsdale, player already towards Propane. Now looking for that first blood. Who else but Shifty on 5 in a row?
Yeah, it takes a route on the outside of Propane, finds a first blood. But immediately, you know, trades go down back and forth. They do still have that man advantage. Now, and Vortex has kind of found themselves in a rough spot here as well. Now a 3v1, all up to Death, and that bomb is down in a horrible, horrible spot.
And Death hasn't really moved from their spawn at all. As soon as he peeks out of the windows, Lucy Ragsdale, they're watching, and they are not letting anything by them at all, Jesse. That's 3 rounds to start off high-rise, search and destroy all the way of our Ragsdale team.
Yeah, really great stuff. And Shifty down on 6 in a row as well after that 0-1 start. Gets shot in the back in the only gunfight that they've lost here. So can't really do much when you're getting shot in the back, Colin, but everything else has been solid wins from Shifty, and about as dangerous as we thought that Shifty was going to be here inside of this map. Now, down 3-0. We saw this yesterday a few times as well. This needs to be where you're starting to look to make the comeback here, though. If you're Lee County, you got to start to make those adjustments. You know that they're taking those routes on the outside. Maybe place a little bit more conservative through the middle of the map. Try to get map control away from the side of Lucy Ragsdale, just to find some success here. But it's tough, especially when you have Shifty and Moke running around, just killing everything in front of them. Already now left in a 1v3's Demon.
And I can't really pinpoint what it is, Jesse, whether it's the confidence, whether it's the knowledge and experience of a couple of these players, or whether it's just down to some of the timings that Lucy Ragsdale is getting. But and sometimes it really just seems like some of these players, some of these individuals are a little bit outclassed. As we're looking at Demon 1 in a 1 versus 4, has cut things down a little bit to size, 1 versus 2, but has been spotted out. Tagged down to 79 HP and goes for the re-challenge, but won't be able to win it out. A close call there for the side of Lee County A, but will not be a round win at the end of it. It's 4 in a row.
Yeah, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, Shal, there. Because if you go towards middle of the map, there's a player just set up ready to gun you as well. So, unfortunate spot. I think that would have been very, very tough. Needed a miracle, I think, to win that 1v4 towards the end of it. And Colin, since round number 1 and losing Shifty very early on in this game, 8 in a row now. Has not fallen again since. Just a casual 8 in a row. Shifty doing Shifty things at the moment. And really, Lee County looking to find any answer at the moment. They're going to push over towards A. All 4 players going to push towards this side of the map, but complete progression has stopped here. You don't check your corner. Baller finds first blood. Going to find a second under middle of the map as well.
Whoa, but look at this. A trade from Demon 1 and Vortex, and Lee County A are not out of the round just yet. 2 of the best performing players on this team now ready to hopefully get this first round on the board. But Vortex now all alone gets caught out. And Ragsdale with a complete pivot. They hit the brakes. They turn around. And that is 5 unanswered. We went into the search and destroy, Jesse, asking for a takeover out of one of these teams. And it has been quite the delivery.
Yeah, Ragsdale has come out absolutely swinging here inside of this map number 2. I mean, map 1, I don't think could have been closer between these two teams. I think this lane was very much so in favor of Ragsdale, but outside of that, the map was very close. But they have just been exposed here in map number 2, Colin.
Yeah, it's just been punish after punish from Lucy Ragsdale. And what is this call? What is this strategy? All 4 members still sticking out towards their spawn. Is this the 4 corners challenge of the offices of High Rise?
It almost feels like they're trying to just bait them in. Oh, they were using the streak.
It's the cruise missile. All right.
It all makes sense now.
So cruise missile is going to open up a kill. Baller, a little bit of trouble here. Cooks the nade. Kobe. It doesn't hit. Nice shots out of Demon 1. Tough, though, with the Rival 9, albeit it's a great gun. Tough still to hit those shots. Shifty, second in the round, tucks away, healing up. Death in a little bit of a pickle, getting hunted down, and that's going to be 3 in the round from Shifty. 12 in a row for High Rise. Bloody Trash Kill is going to find his first kill of the game, but stuck in a 1 versus 3. Stuck between Ragsdale players. Lucy Ragsdale will move to our second round with a 2-0 sweep.
Lucy Ragsdale just demolished Lee County A on that search and destroy. That was not close. I hate to say it, Colin. I think that might be one of the biggest differentials in a game mode, map mode combination that we've seen yet on stream. A 6-0 to that fashion there. Shifty played unreal through that game, but even the rest of the team all played very well. Baller 6-4. Moke was 3-4. Mystic Hub did not die through the entire game. 3-0. Didn't have to do much, but also did just enough to be able to get the job done there for their team. Fantastic job out of Ragsdale there. I mean, I really don't know what more there is to say. Just a complete and utter domination there inside of that map number 2.
Yeah, I mean, map number 1, we highlighted it saying it was very close. I mean, it was only a 13-point game separating the two teams, but a complete different story as we head into Search and Destroy, which tends to be the game mode where we look at teams to really show up and look like the better team. I mean, we go into that second map asking for, a takeover from a player. It's kind of been, like I said, our litmus test throughout the VESL Call of Duty Esports League on, who's going to be that takeover player to combat against those individuals that we've seen from other teams throughout the league, to combat that pressure, combat that skill and the prowess that we've seen from these high school students. And we get that there from Shifty. 12 kills in a row to close out High Rise. You couldn't ask for a better showcase from a player on that Lucy Ragsdale team.
Yeah, absolutely. Shifty really turned up there inside of that map. Even map 1, I think they almost had 40 on that first map as well. So it is absolutely crazy how well they looked there. And this team will be going up against Garinger A in our final match. So we'll get to see some more of them up against another team as well. So how well can they do? How well can Shifty do? We'll just have to find out a little bit later on tonight. You guys will not want to miss that match.
No, you don't want to miss it at all, folks. We got our third match of the day coming up after this break. It looks like we're heading in to take a look at our team all the way back from day one. It's going to be Wake Leadership on stream. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back over to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. We're heading into our third match of the night for our bracket stage. Now, Jesse, we're progressing into the second round matches as well for our bracket. And, you know, it's been a lovely day so far. A couple great matches on stream. How do you think you want to sum up the first round so far?
I'd say the first round went pretty as expected. I think a lot of 2-0s from what I've seen kind of come through. We're still kind of filtering out the cream of the crop right now, right? Like we've gotten the best of teams through the bracket play, but now once we're in the bracket play, this is really where things are going to really go. When push comes to shove, the best team is going to come out on top more often than not. And I think the best kind of way to sum that up is if you look back at our first matchup of the day, right? When we had West Charlotte go up against South Mech, I mean, it was a very close map one, which ended up getting flipped on its head. We ended up doing a replay, ended up going the opposite way around. The search and destroy also went very much so one way over the other, but a close game still at the very end. And then the map 3, West Charlotte really kind of just took to their own liking there, was able to close the game out and was able to put that one away. So I think when you're looking at that first round, that might have been one of the closer series we had in our first round. Everything else really looked like a lot of 2-0s down the board for the most part. But so that tells me that we're getting there, though. We're getting to that closer stage, because I still think that South Mech team that lost, honestly, probably could have beat a lot of those other teams that we've seen in round number 1 as well.
No, I do agree. I think South Mech really showed up, and they looked really good. I want to give some respect out to Fashion. He was a fantastic player for that team and did so much when it came down to the slaying for South Mech. But unfortunately, you know, like I said, Jesse, in a single elimination bracket, we need a team to win, and unfortunately, we need a team to lose for this one to progress. And West Charlotte just showed up in that control, and they looked a little bit better when it came down to that teamwork and breaking those control zones. But right, you know, alongside with you, looking down the bracket, a lot of 2-0s for sure, that being our only map number 3. We're looking in now to our third match of the day, which is going to be our second round matchup between Wake Leadership as well as West Mecklenburg High. So both of these teams coming out in their own respective 2-0 wins for round number 1. It was West Mac beating Rocky River High and Wake Leadership beating New Bern B, the team that we finished off our day 2 matches with.
Yeah, and that's now kind of where we lead into our next series here. Like you said, Wake Leadership versus West Mech. I think it's going to be hard for any team to beat Wake Leadership right now. Their team looks really, really good. West Mech as well. You know what? They got the job done inside of that round number 1. It's really going to take a big effort, though, from this West Mech team, I think, to be able to come out and be able to take down this Wake Leadership team. They've looked really, really solid through day 1 and day 2. I think they might be the team to beat here in this tournament right now. It does feel kind of like that. So I think that if this team is going to end up losing, it's going to take a complete team effort, though, if you do want to be able to knock these guys off.
Oh, yeah, and I'm just taking a look, too, as a reminder for teams who, you know, may not have been here for day number 1. We did get to see West Mac on stream playing against Triton back all the way in day number 1, Jesse. So we've seen them before. They played Triton. This was Solar Eclipse, Emelson, Invader, as well as their 4th, who I actually don't think was there. I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 versus 3. So, you know, I'm sure we're going to get the full force of West Mecklenburg inside of today. But it was Group B where we saw West Mac play Triton. They were the first seed coming out of there with a 3-0 record, 4-1 when it came down to map score. And Wake Leadership on the other side, it was a full 6-0 sweep from them, 3 up, 3 down. Easy as you could ask for. So this is where we're looking at now, Group A and Group B, to meet each other, Jesse, and see what these first seeds are all about, because we're definitely going to be looking at this Wake Leadership team as the top team to beat right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only does their teamwork look really, really good, and they seem to have a better kind of grasp of the way to play Hardpoint, the way to play Search and Destroy, and just an overall really good ability to kind of converse their way around the map. But also you just have those individual pop-off performances as well by a lot of the players on this team as well so far that have really shot them to the top and made them a fan favorite, I'd say, right now, and a favorite to a lot of teams that I think that I know I said I already think that they're going to be tough to beat, but I think that this team is looking like that top dog at the moment.
Oh, yeah. You and I in complete agreement when it comes down to that. And our map number 1 for this best of 3 is going to be Skid Row, Jesse. So heading into Skid Row for the Hardpoint, we haven't seen West or Wake leadership play this map at all. Invasion for the control. Map 2 is going to be Karachi. So Skid Row, Karachi, Invasion is going to be our series maps, which is really interesting to me. When we did see Wake leadership before, they were really keen on playing those Karachis, and now heading over towards the Skid Row, I would say this is going to be a very different map for them, but I actually don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think this gives just more takeover control for a player like SwagChecked with how mixy a map like Skid Row could be.
I agree. SwagChecked is going to have his way on Skid Row. I think this is going to be a map where it's all very close, tight corridors, and I think SwagChecked will probably run a rival 9 on some of the hills on this map, especially the early hills when we're up and inside of the apartments, just running around with that rival 9, just being a little a nuisance that they can be on the map. And then I think that this first map might honestly end up being a must-win for Westmac, though, because we've seen so many reps for the side of Wake leadership on Karachi so far that if they get to a Karachi search and destroy, I think it might be tough for you to really even take a round. I don't think we've seen them lose a round of Karachi search and destroy yet, at least from what we've seen on stream.
Maybe 1, maybe 2 rounds, but they haven't come close to losing a search and destroy just yet, and we have seen them 6-0 a team on that. So you're right there that, you know, this does feel like a this does feel like a map 1 must win for West map when it kind of boils everything down. But just to go over the rest of what we do have this time, and, you know, getting these players into the lobby and ready to go, Jesse. For round number 2, we're looking at Panther Creek B versus Sun Valley High. Lucy Ragsdale going to be playing against Garinger A. We did highlight that, and that is going to be our last match of the day. And then West Charlotte High versus Lee County High B, already a 2-0. And West Charlotte High will be our first qualified team for tomorrow.
Yeah, we love to see that too, because West Charlotte High looked really great in our first series here today as well. I know we said it was a tight one, but they did look like they had control of that. Honestly, they won that first map really well as well. Maybe might have been a little bit checked on the replay. And when they got to the replay, they still kept it close. They almost brought it back. If they didn't start down so bad maybe in that replay, maybe it would have ended up being a 2-0 for themselves there as well. But yeah, they were to get the job done in control and in search and destroy. And I mean, after seeing that and seeing them get the job done in control and search and destroy like that, I think that team's going to be a very dangerous team once we get into best of 5s, Colin.
Once we get into the best of 5s, it's going to be a whole lot of fun tomorrow, Jesse. But for these best of 3s, it kind of leaves everything still up to, you know, decisions. Playing those double respawns makes it really hard for a team who favors search and destroy to walk away with, I guess, a series win. But, you know, even if it was a best of 5, you still have to win both the hard point and the control, one of the two, for it to go to that second search and destroy as well. So, you know, for all of these games that are going on, just as a reminder for people too, these round 2 matches are all going to be leading into qualifiers for our state qualifiers, and then tomorrow we'll be seeing our state finals, where we'll have 2 semifinals, a 3rd place match, and a grand final match. So all best of 5s across the board. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be trying to get these players in and ready to go as quick as possible for a 3rd match of the day. But Jesse, while we wait for Skid Row to begin, let's take a step back, get these players lobbied up. We'll be back on stream with Skid Row Hardpoint hopefully very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the VESL Call of Duty Esports League. As we're getting ready for our match number 3, I just want to apologize for the quick little for the break that we did have, but we have the players ready to go for Skid Row map number 1. Just a reminder, my name is Seymour. With me is Cruisin'. We've been here for the past 3 days, and this action has been electric. Today, Jesse, it's been so competitive. And as we head into round 2 of the bracket play, can't imagine that it's going to slow down.
No, I don't think it's going to slow down at all. In fact, I just think it's going to get better and better. And we were talking about it before we came in. We'll just kind of reiterate to everybody the match that we've about to have come on stream right now. It's going to be Wake Leadership going up against West Mac. It should be a really good match. We saw West Mac on day 1. They went up against Trident. They looked very good in that series as well. They went 3-0 in their group. Going up against Wake Leadership, who is, well, 3-0 in their group as well. They've got Swag checked on their team. He has looked fantastic through a lot of this tournament. I think he looks like one of the best players in this tournament, if not the best player on a team that looks like they are going for the win right now. We're loading into Skid Row, Colin. I'm just excited for some Skid Row Hardpoint right now. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
And I gotta take a second to gas up Swag checked because they played Newburn B earlier. They beat them 250-17 and then 6-1, Jesse. Swag checked in the hard point. He went 32-6, 5,000 plus of damage, and an average of 870 damage per hill. That is insane numbers for Swag check to put in. So Wake Leadership, off the back of some insane plays from Swag check, they are in good hands.
They absolutely are. But let's not forget, though, not one player can make the big change and make the whole difference to this team. This whole West Mac Academy, Wake Leadership Academy, I should say, has looked very good through this tournament. But we got to give our flowers where our flowers are due. This has been a great break off from West Mac. They lose the initial gunfights, but still sitting inside of the hill, getting a good chunk of time here off this P1 hill. They're going to walk away with half the time here, Colin.
Get away with majority of this time, and you know, to gas up West Mac as well, Jesse. How good was Parade Pine and Emelson when we saw them play in their game versus Triton? So my eyes are on these two to keep West Mac alive inside of the Skid Row, but the early rotations over towards P2, and probably one of the hardest hills that you're going to find inside of a hardpoint in MW3 to break, because Swag check can just do this. An actual human turret.
And it actually looks like Swagcheck is running more of a flex role here today as well. Ran the Rival 9 through that first hill inside of the close corridors. Now that we're heading towards a hill where you need a long-range MCW to lock down these long lanes of sight, absolutely getting the job done with that as well. So great to see the flexibility on the player as well.
Yeah, it is. TI-12 is going to go down, but with 22 seconds left, this is the last attempt that I'd like to see West Mac take for this hill, Jesse. If this doesn't pan out, you just got to focus on the rotations.
You really do. Looking across the map now as well, I mean, P3 is about as opposite to this as you can get in terms of where it is. You can see the hill popping up, that little lock in the bottom portion of the map. We're going to head down towards the Mural Alley to go towards our next hill. I mean, this should be a rotation won by West Mac. They've got 4 players to the 1, but when one player is just Swag checked, there's a real opportunity here to lose this rotation, and they do a fantastic job by Swag checked, and he gets the turnaround for the final 13 in a row. Colin, Swag checked is going off.
Emelson just got cameraed real time. 15-1, now 16-1. That's 13 in a row for Swag checked. He's got the streaks in TI-12, just looking to live things out here on the wood in setup. TI-12 swapping over towards that Renetti. Not able to happen. Swag check continuing to find kills. Jesse, it's 15 in a row. And what was a West Mac leadership after hill number 1 is not going to be the same now, as it's 60 points plus for Wake leadership inside of this one. Swag check swings out, finds 2. Can't get away, but 21-2, Jesse. That is impeccable.
I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping for that. I'm still hoping to see that to see the nuke come through. I don't know why I was just muffling those words so bad. Yes, I'm still hoping for that nuke to come through really badly here. But Wake leadership again. We head over to Barbershop. They will be the first team inside the hill and set up. Chaconi inside the hill. Unfortunately, she can't find those couple of kills. And this will finally, after a lot of bleeding, stop the bleeding for a short period of time here as West Mac get a hold.
They cauterize the wound for a short time, and Parade Pine's going to find one even towards Trash. Nice collapse there from Vengeance, but as soon as Swag Check gets involved. It's a quick double kill, and alongside Ciccone, it's 3 down for Wake Leadership to break back in with 21 seconds. You look at the respawn, so Westmac will be able to hit this right away, and Emerson keeping this one a little bit scrappy, but nobody has broken this hill just yet, and Swag Check is on a mission to make sure that apps control is in favor of Wake Leadership.
Getting ready to push across the map now as well as Swag Check. Will get 2v1'd though on the rotation, so won't win that out. Will fall for only the 3rd time this game. That is ridiculous to say. Sorry, the 4th time this game. Still an absurd number, but the first rotation now over to P5, over towards the docks. This is where you need to answer back with a big hold if you're Westmech and you want to make a way back in this game.
And without a player up P2, there's no cross to really hold Wake Leadership back. You see this Rival 9's getting so close and involved. It's back and forth kills. Invader needs to lock down this one, and it's Swag Checked. Last player alive for Wake Leadership. That's all you need for the break back in towards the back and set up towards the containers. 3 in a row. Now 4 in a row for Swag Checked to keep Westmac out of this hill.
The only thing to take Swag Checked out is that nade there. We'll drop him, but 31-6, Colin, through the first set of rotations. Absolutely insane numbers. And I know it might sound like we're gassing him up a lot, but man, if you guys are new to Call of Duty, 31 kills in 1 set of rotations is absolutely absurd.
It's abnormal. And, you know, to say it's monstrous performance coming out from Swag Checked right now. And, I mean, he deserves all the gas right now for the performance that he's putting on. Emerson, now for Westmac. They got a lot of time last time we were inside apartments. See if they can do quite the same here, as now a lot of attention around, head on a swivel for Emerson, gets traded out by Swag Checked, and the break-in for Wake Leadership is there.
Really good stuff there from Wake Leadership. Back inside of the hill. They should be able to lock down these last 30 seconds. They need one more wave of kills, and these 30 seconds will for sure go their way here. And Swag Checked is in such an annoying spot. That staircase is so tough to find any success on when you've got a player set up there. And it being Swag Checked with an MCW makes it just that much harder. I thought we were about to see a turn on there, Colin.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Last 10 seconds, Brightpine looking to collect the scrap. Nice couple kills there for Westmac, but only 4 seconds. You have to be thinking about the rotations. Invader's going to be looking to back up his teammate, but on the inside of blue, Swag Checked is there for the warehouse. Invader, lovely snap onto Ciccone, but now they need to take down probably the hardest kill inside of this entire lobby. Swag Checked gonna heal back up, post it down, and a little bit of bad timing, but that is a blessing for Westmac.
Yeah, you need that. You absolutely need that there if you're Westmac. If you can hold on to the remainder of this time, you can bring this right back to about a 60-point game, and that would be massive. That's only one more hold after that, but you need to stop this team. Swag Check will fall again, 42-9 now. Started to slow down a little bit here in the second set of rotations, as we are starting to see Westmac pick up a little bit of the pacing here. Prayed Pine on 5 in a row, Invader on 3 in a row. They're really starting to cook.
And if Prayed Pine and Emerson and Invader can continue to heat up the way they have inside of the second set of rotations, I mean, this is not over yet, Jesse. At the end, it's going to be what, like a 70-point lead? No, not like a 50-point lead.
50 to 60, yeah.
So heading in here, if Westmac can take control of apartments, flood out, and break this right away, this is totally doable for a comeback. And I'm looking at Vengeance to make this play through the back alley. Peeks out, immediately swept away. There comes the help from Emerson, but it just doesn't seem like they could get anything going. Impala now to hunt. Finds 1, maybe 2. No Invader there for the stun. Swag Check on the corner. Gonna look to collect the rest of them, and he will.
Yeah, we'll find a few kills there, and this is really going to slow down that whole hold. But a great push from Prayed Pine from behind. I thought possibly could have played that a little bit and found those kills. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Swag Check now getting close to 50 kills on the board. 49 is there. Will 50 come? It will not come yet, but they cannot win on this hill. We do have to rotate one more time, Colin, over to the barber shop, and that looks like that's exactly where Swag Check's full focus is heading right now.
Yeah, so far, I mean, Westmac have been good at fighting for these rotations, and Prayed Pine is here. Big shutdown onto Swag Check. That should call for some spawns right by, but the spawns are coming up over towards P2, and Breakpine's going to be all alone with this MCW. Has to fight for some of this positioning, but unfortunately a team nade. Breakpine only good for the one. Emerson needs to go big, but against Swag Check, there's just nothing you can do. 10 seconds left and counting. This could be it for Skid Row. Another team kill out of Vengeance. A kill onto a second, but nobody's going to touch this hill. And Wake leadership take Skid Row.
Wow. It almost felt like it wasn't going to happen for a little bit there, but Swagcheck does pass that 50 kill mark to the end of that game. 51-10, Colin. Swagcheck finishes. That's a 5-point KD. I mean, 8k damage.
Wow, that's it. That's crazy.
Almost 1,000 damage a hill averaged there. I know, again, it sounds like we are just really gassing up Swagcheck right now, but like, how can you not right now when this man is dropping numbers like this? He said he wants to win this whole tournament, Colin, and he's throwing the Jansport on, and he is ready to just put anybody in his backpack and win this tournament right now.
932 damage per hill. We hardly see players hit 100 sometimes, Jesse. That is 9 times the value that a normal player would bring to a game. I mean, wow. What a game from Swagcheck. And heading in towards the Search and Destroy map number 2, I don't think you could be riding at any more of a high than what that one was. So, I mean, map 2 coming up very shortly, Jesse. It's going to be Karachi. And you and I broke down as we were talking about the series. With Karachi being map 2, this was a must-win map for Westmac.
Yeah.
And now that they've lost Skid Row, they're on the chopping block.
Absolutely. And if anybody's wondering why, it's because we've seen this Wake leadership team a few times on stream. They have not lasted a single round on stream on Karachi Search and Destroy yet. So take from that what you will. I don't think that they've gone up against a team to the talent that we've seen yet of this team that we're seeing them play right now in Westmac. They've looked very good through this so far here. It's going to take a lot, though. Not just to only win rounds, but to win this whole game and to force us into a game number 3, into a map 3. It's going to be tough.
I could play a little bit of devil's advocate here, Jesse, and, talk on the other side for Westmac and say that the way that they played the end of that Skid Row was a lot better than
for sure.
What they played in that first set. And heading into the Search and Destroy, it's a completely different game. It's a completely different game mode. So, you can look to them to maybe slow it down, change things up a little bit. And I'm looking at Breakpine again to kind of step into that lead slayer role for this team, because Breakpine, when he was finding that value, when he was finding those multi-kills, it was really Breakpine that was the difference maker for this Westmac team. And then here and there, we would see some other individuals pop up and have their moments. But realistically, going into the Search and Destroy, it's going to be the Breakpine versus Swagcheck moment. I mean, it's such a big head-to-head to look at.
Yeah, for sure. Breakpine needs to really play to that next level right now if they want to walk away with the series versus Swagcheck. He needs to be able to, I don't even want to say necessarily slay with Swagcheck, but needs to at least be able to shut Swagcheck down in a couple of these rounds right now, because I really don't know if anybody else on this team is going to be able to, unless they're taking team shots at Swagcheck right now.
Just need to put him on a leash.
He's just playing on a different level, and 100% right now, that is your priority number 1, is to take Swagcheck out of the lobby, out of every single round, and give yourselves the best opportunity to be able to walk away with a victory here. On offense, we'll start with the side of Westmac, and it's going to be a very quick hit over towards the B side of the map. They have a lot of pressure right now. If you could just push up and get this bomb down for free at the moment.
Swagcheck's going to spot somebody already. TI-12, top red. Shots are good for a little bit of damage, but losing out on teammates fast, and TI-12 finally secures that 1v4. Westmac just caught out in the open. A lot of map control, a lot of early pressure, Jesse, but it amounts to nothing without shutting down the hit through mid.
Well, and when I was watching the start of that, the break-off was so fast, all the pressure was so fast, they all pushed out, and then they just stopped. Everybody just stopped. Nobody pushed into the powerful positions. They just kind of got to mid-map and went, oh, nobody's here. What are we going to do? They looked like they were just running out, trying to take head-on gunfights, and were not challenged in, I guess, where they thought they were going to see the timings of those players. And unfortunately for them, just everybody ends up falling in that spot there. Now we'll see, I guess, more of a normal defense here. You're going to see one player from the side of Wake leadership going to go over towards the rest of the players, either middle map, heading over towards B. And Swagcheck is actually just sprinting through middle of the map right now with the Rival 9.
Already.
Oh my
Top
goodness.
third
What is
jumping
this
into the
timing?
apartments. They have no idea. And the assassination. You hate to see it. Execution style right to the dome. Vengeance looking to trade with the teammates, but Swagcheck is still hunting. He's not done. And that's 4 in a row for the young menace in the map. Swagcheck is an unstoppable machine, and Swagcheck is going to find another one into the round, looking for the ace invader, last alive. No information on where this last player is, so Swagcheck is still running circles around it, and Paul is going to spot this player out. I'm sure they're calming to their teammate that where he is. TI-12 is not going to steal that one away. Invader doing his best to stay alive, just play it out to the very end, but they're letting Swagcheck get his ace.
What can you do? What can you do in that situation? Swagcheck got through middle of the map so fast and into top third that that player was so unready for that gunfight that Swagcheck was able to find an assassination at the start of that round column with 3 other players on his team still alive because nobody was in position to help that player out. Very unfortunate there. Swagcheck 6-0, already looking towards getting some streaks.
That's the first kill that Westpac found too, and it was Invader finding a free one off of, Wake leadership playing with their food in that second round. The confidence on this team is just second to none. And now, round number 3, you can see that they are still looking to just run it down. Swagcheck has made his way past Church, looking to flank out Wake leadership, and they are all grouped up on top of each other. Chikone, she's going to strike first into the round, and this is go time for TI-12 and Swagcheck to make their rounds. Unfortunately, though, TI-12 gets caught out. Swagcheck limiting the advantage for Westpac. We're into a 2 versus 2. But so much work to be done, Jesse.
Yeah, Swagcheck and Chikone left here. Doesn't look like bomb's going to go down immediately. It actually looks like we're going to see a quick rotation over towards A. Bomb will go down. Swagcheck going to watch over Chikone as she plants the bomb here. And I mean, a bomb going down in this situation with Swagchecked up is a very dangerous situation for the Westmax side. Chikone's going to choose to play this in through lobby. Vengeance will now make the push from the front.
In which Chikone at his wing. Anything is possible right now for Wake leadership. Emilson's going to get caught out. And Wake leadership, that is 3 in a row. I mean, anybody together on this Wake leadership team just seems to be quite the dominant opponent. But when it's Swagcheck and Chikone side by side in a 2 versus 2, my money's on these two.
Yeah. The chemistry's there for sure, right? They're playing very well together at the moment. And I mean, this whole Wake leadership team just honestly playing incredible right now. I know we keep talking about Swagcheck, but TI-12 really holding their own. Chikone doing a great job as the objective player on this team. And then Impala, I mean, Impala hasn't had to do too much yet here today, but I'm sure once they get in a situation where Impala does need to step up to the plate, they absolutely will.
Oh, of course. For the attack here for Westmac, caught in the open, and Swagchecked again,
Rival
9 in a row. I mean, Jesse, after the years that we've had in Call of Duty, Rival 9 may just be the best gun we've seen in a while. And Chikone finding a second one. Vengeance doesn't know really where to go. And as soon as they're seen, I mean, it is done and dusted. 4 rounds for Wake leadership.
I just gotta say, as a submachine gun player, I think that the MCW is absolutely blessed. I'm just saying. I don't know if I fully agree with the Rival 9 maybe being the more explosive of the 2 guns this year. I think they're very balanced, but I still think the MCW would be a little bit better right now, just a little bit.
I mean, they do the exact same thing, Jesse. It's just the one is smaller and a submachine gun. So,
oh man, this. Hey, like we said yesterday, as long as everything's overpowered, that's all that matters.
yeah, as long as everything is overpowered, nothing's overpowered, right?
Exactly. On offense, we go now for Wake leadership. It looks like they're going to try to force this over to A. Once they get this information, though, may want to move this bomb over towards B. Chikone goes down in lobby. Actually, sorry, bottom garage, not inside a lobby. So Swagcheck should be able to get this bomb back.
Yeah, so bomb definitely salvageable. Great Pine gonna have to get eyes on this one. In fact, goes for the timing, but in fact, a little bit distracted. TI-12 gonna catch Bright Pine looking the wrong way. Has shifted the advantage back over. Still a player at A. Tucked away. Spotted out by Swagcheck. And As it's going to be a
course.
1v3 for Vengeance, who's still watching over B. Well, every member of Wake Leadership spotted at A, but hey, it works. Let's bomb down.
TI-12 goes down. Vengeance still alive. Top apartments.
He gets away. But hunted down. I mean, Swagcheck is right on his heels the whole time. No matter where you go,
man.
it's not going to be safe.
You can't hide. You cannot hide from Swag Checked here in this lobby. 13-0, Colin, yet to fall in the search and destroy. And this might be a jinx. And if I jinx them and they lose this next round, you can put this one on me. Post the clip on Twitter. It's all my fault. But this is now 17 straight rounds on stream on our main broadcast that we have seen Wake Leadership Academy win on Karachi.
That is unreal. Unreal stats to be looking at here. So, Wake Leadership looking to punch their ticket into Sunday with a flawless search and destroy. Only one round needed, and they're onto the defense. Cruise missile called in from Swag Checked. Hits its mark, so first blood there. TI-12 now off the timing. Gonna get caught. Slides away. Hits the deck. Won't win it out. Prade Pun keeps us even.
Big trade there for Prade Pun. Chaconi, though, with a great line of sight with the AR on these back steps of the cafe, finds one. Emerson will even us out 2v2. Swag Check was a little bit out of position in that round. Does end up falling as well. So if there was ever a round to win for West Mac, Swag Check's out of it. This is the round.
This is it. 2 versus 2. Prade Pine and Emelson. Can they get the job done? Chaconi and Impala. Jesse, you said it. When Impala is put into these situations, will it be enough to rise to the occasion? Hasn't been involved in too much, but now on the wrap back over towards A. Prade Pine watching for it. Spots out that last player, and it doesn't seem like this is going to be as flawless as we thought, Jesse. 19 HP, a hope and a dream, but it's not possible. We get a round on the board for West Mac.
Oh, I'm going to get clipped, Colin. I'm going to get clipped. It's okay, though. It happens. 17 straight rounds is still pretty damn absurd for a search and destroy on one map mode combination. Unfortunately, can't make it the clean 18. It will end at 17 straight. It's still crazy numbers. 5 to 1 for Wake Leadership Academy. I just kept counting up in my head. And they're there. I think, honestly, Colin, that round probably goes differently if Swagcheck doesn't decide to use the cruise missile off the rip. But because they used the cruise missile, he was super out of position towards the later portion of that round.
Well, I mean, Wake Leadership, they're going to be happy with that. Or, sorry, West Mac. They start the next one with a first blood and a second one. Prade Pine looking to heat up here 4 in a row. No eyes onto where Swag Checked is, who is snuck into the hotel. Shoulder to shoulder, Prade Pine. The timing's on his side, and a big win there. Last alive is going to be Chaconi. 1 versus 3. It'll have to be a 1v4 ace. Oh, no, it doesn't have to be a 1v4 ace. That's a self-nade from Invader. And Chaconi, this job gets a little bit easier, Jesse. See, even still, it is going to be hard. And Emelson
didn't get the timing.
No timing, no information.
Oh, but Chaconi's going to choose to go back into lobby. This is a blessing now for West Mac. All they need to do is check this bomb because Chaconi's going to have to hop on it soon. Hops on the bomb. Emerson checks it. West Mac back-to-back rounds 1.
Oh, Jesse, the COD timing almost was crazy there.
If they rotate it out and she got that bomb down, there's a very real chance that Chaconi's able to win that round for them by herself there.
But they play the 50-50, and that's the smart way to go. If the bomb goes down, the bomb goes down, but at least it won't go down at A.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what you want to do in that situation. You don't want to have to traverse all the way across the map. You keep your positioning. You're in a 2v1 as well, right? So if that bomb goes down, you just play the 2v1 retake at that point. But not the case. Bomb does not go down. Emelson will start off this round with the offense now pushing over towards B again. The B push has not worked out at all for West Mac here inside of this game yet, but we're actually seeing a much more passive defensive hold here so far from Wake Leadership in this round.
I think they understand. They just need 1 round win, Jesse. So the stack over towards B. Vengeance. The wall bangs. Gets away with barely a sliver of their life. Now TI-12 in a little bit of trouble. Prade Pine locks down that first blood kill. And now Westmac seems like they want to execute over towards B, but they lose 2 members immediately. The flank from Impala suddenly drops that bomb, and Parade Pine has to go secure it. 2 versus 3.
No,
Swag checked.
Is in a great spot, top third, Colin.
This could be it. This could be the round done and dusted.
Oh, he
with
spotted
this
him.
powerful position. Won't be able to lock down that kill. But from the top ropes, Swag checked, denies the round, denies the game, and punches his ticket to Sunday.
That top third position is just unreal. You see so much of the map. Swagcheck will be able to find the first. Immediately expects the chow from the second player as well. Pulls out the MCW, wins out that final gunfight against Vengeance, and is able to walk away 17-2 here inside of map number 2 after going 51-10 or 51-11, whatever it was in that map 1. So what was that in total? 76 kills, 76 kills, and like 13 deaths. If it was 11 deaths in the first game, just
I mean,
what do you do? Unreal numbers.
it's a casual walk in the park for Swag checked here. A little bit of trouble towards the end. I'll give Westmac the benefit there is that they were kind of putting together some rounds. They didn't seem like they were completely out of it towards the end, and they weren't just giving up. They played it to the very end, Jesse, and that is a very commendable thing to say for this team, that they showed up, they played their best. Might not be the outcome that they hoped for, but I really liked what I was seeing from some of those players, especially Parade Pines.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that does a big thing towards their confidence going forward as a team as well. Like, I'm sure this won't be the last time they play together. They have some small things to work on for sure, but I think the big thing that I really noticed with this team, when both the Hardpoint and the Search and Destroy, the later the game went, the better the team got, which is not always the case. They were making really good mid-round adjustments in the Search and Destroy towards the end of it. They did a great job in the Hardpoint in the second set of rotations, really answering back to what they saw in the first set.
Yeah.
And it was a lot closer, like we said in the second set. I think if we run this series back, it could be, I wouldn't say a different outcome, but it would be a lot closer, I think, in both those maps.
No, I would agree, especially the Skid Row, Hardpoint, because the back half, you're right to say that it was a lot closer for Westmac, than the score really does show. So, fortunately for Westmac, this is where their road ends here inside of our VESL Call of Duty Esports League for the state qualifiers. Wake Leadership are going to secure a spot on Thursday. I know, Jesse, I said
yeah, I heard you say Sunday.
I think I'm just used to it at this point, but tomorrow is going to be Thursday, and they've made it to the final day of play when we are going to be looking at the state finals. And they've joined a couple of other teams, so we can take a second, look over towards this bracket, talk about a couple of the teams that we have seen. It's not updated, but I do have the updated bracket right in front of me. Sun Valley High have qualified inside of the state qualifiers, as well as West Charlotte High and Wake Leadership. So we're still waiting to hear about the winner of Lucy Ragsdale and Garinger A, but really looking forward to seeing who walks away with that win, because Garinger A, Jesse, they took down Green Level High, a team that you and I both had lots of stocks in after day 2.
Green Level High, that was the team that had Tommy for Your Mommy on it, right?
It was.
Yeah, and we thought that he was looking like the second best player in the tournament outside of Swag Check. So that goes to tell you a lot. That team, that Garinger A team, might just be the real deal.
It might be the real deal, and I just want to give a big congratulations to the teams that have qualified for so far: West Charlotte, Sun Valley, and Wake Leadership. I'm excited for the state finals, and I do want to give a congratulations to the teams that have come out, played, made it through the group stage, made it into the bracket stage. Of course, it might not be the outcome that you wanted, Jesse, but it is a step on the path of your Call of Duty competitive road, and I don't want to see that road end here.
It's not about losing. It's how you learn from your losses, right? That's really what it comes down to, especially in Call of Duty. I feel like a lot of teams, you learn more from losing than you do from winning constantly. So, I mean,
of course, yeah.
You lose a few times. You just got to really make sure you're going through, breaking down the reasons why you're losing. It's all about those fundamentals. I know D-Real and you were really hitting on that when you had him on the desk with you, and he's absolutely correct. Once you get down those base fundamentals in Call of Duty, you learn those rotations, you learn when to expect players to be challenging certain situations. That's when you can really start to break the game down to an even further level. But until you get to those points and then you learn all those small little minute details, it's going to be tough. But once you get there and you get those that's when you'll hit that next level and you'll start playing to the same level of these players like Swagjack, like Tommy for your mommy. Like once you get there, you can tell like those players have played for a very long time and that they know those small little minute things that maybe not everybody in these lobbies know.
Call of Duty's like an ogre, Jesse. There's layers to it, or it's like an onion. There's layers to it.
I can't
and
believe
you know,
you just
once you
quoted Shrek
peel
on
back
the
that
broadcast.
first layer,
That's
then you
it.
start seeing the second layer and how deep it really can be. Once you learn the macro, then the micro becomes a whole lot easier. That's what D-Real was kind of tell us the other day. And for a lot of these teams, I'm definitely excited to see how they grow heading into the state finals, which is going to be tomorrow. And on December 14th, which is the state finals, we have a giveaway as well that we will be looking at tomorrow. We saw it back on December 11th. We gave away 2 copies of Modern Warfare 3. Our lucky winners are now able to play the game just like our participants on stream. And tomorrow on December 14th, we'll be giving away our last copy. So you yourself, you can show up tomorrow at youtube.com/@VESLGG. Type !giveaway in the chat. Watch the stream and have a chance to win yourself a nice new copy of Call of Duty MW3, Jesse. Which honestly, if you yourself are not really a competitive fan of the game, there is so much to do in this. When it comes down to the camo grinding, when it comes down to Warzone, zombies, the game itself, and maybe ranked is on your mind. There's a lot to do in this game.
But that's the next step, right? Once you get in, you start playing some of those like lower, I don't want to say lower tier, but you play like public matches, you do your camo grind, then you start to really get into it. Start watching the CDL. You'll learn a lot of things watching those players.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, that's how I got into competitive Call of Duty. I started watching Scump back in like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. That was like my intro into Call of Duty. And look at me, I'm still sucked right into this damn franchise. It's what, 10 years later now, call it, and I'm still hooked. So once you get into it, man, it almost feels like you're stuck for life.
We love Call of Duty here at VESL, and we love as well the support that we're being shown from everybody who's tuning in, all the participants, and we're looking forward to seeing who's going to be taking that prize at the end, Jesse. But for today, that's going to be all said and done for our matches. Don't forget to show up and tune in tomorrow, not only for the giveaway, but to see these talented players play for a grand total of $12,000. Same time, same place. Have a great night. We'll see you on Thursday.